go to your head. Most of it be cap. Mind over matter, respect the telekinetics. I move a mountain, bout a mile, cause I said it. The rapper's rapper, black lit pastor, the prophet,
yeah,
the God,
man.
playing fetch with blank checks.
I know.
At the top with my dogs, who want war? Nobody, I'm about to go potty. That shit, I'm kicking it, but I don't know no karate. No need for cold feet. I ain't playing.
Yeah, so welcome to Conscious Reconstruction. I decided to start the episode a little different this time. It's a little Absol for that ass, because Absol is rare and hard to find. Because this nigga just don't drop projects and just disappears.
Not at all.
But yeah, so
some people are like that. They're like wandering unicorns or something.
yeah, Absol is definitely one of those wandering unicorns that just is like, I'm gonna drop these projects and then I'm also gonna not drop anything else. And you're like, but sir, please sir, I'd like some more.
You don't deserve more. You haven't figured out what I gave you last time. Go figure that out.
No, just give me more. But I'm joined here with the usual crew. It's Ash in the building, aka Zero Cool. We got Just Charles in the building. 009, excuse me. Yeah, look at that. It's a whole gang in the building. But what I want to talk about, but
oh no, I was just thinking about. I think Ash was saying something about. I don't know. Were you the person who said that you wanted to change one of your handles from Zero Cool because it's like all the way back from something?
Wanted to change it?
Yeah, it's like, is that your old AOL instant messaging name or something?
No. My old AOL shit was way different than this. But no, this has always been, since I started Instagram, this has been the same for quite some time. I don't want to change it.
I just remember things randomly. I'm just kind of like, that's what she said?
No, I like when white boys be like, Zero Cool? They know the movie, and they quote me when I was on Tinder. They would quote me on that shit and say nothing else. I was like, yeah, you got it. Bye.
oh, okay.
Church messaging name.
Yeah.
That's what's up. But what I wanted to talk about was who's the president?
Donald Trump.
Who's going to be the president?
Joe Biden.
Are we sure?
Nah.
Based upon the Constitution saying that his presidency ends on January 20th.
But they ain't declared a winner yet, did they? They used to. I'm just asking. I'm not saying it. They just keep saying projected, so I don't know what's happening.
The projected winner, because a lot of times we don't go through the full electoral process. So as of this point,
so we just quit halfway?
Well,
yeah, you just can't say you projected.
Well, no.
Like, I don't understand. They
can
can say these projected, but they ain't say he won.
The person concedes, which circumvents the rest of the actual electoral process. So you don't have to elect electors, and you don't have to send them to the electoral college. You don't have to have them vote. If the person concedes, that stops that entire process, and you can just move forward.
So since he didn't concede, they have to
go through the entire process.
So basically, it's like, all right, so the numbers say I lost, so let me just not make these niggas come up here.
Yeah, quintessentially, because it just allows people instead of
So what happens if they don't vote the way that we think that they're going to vote?
As of that point, that's probably I think the last time someone did something like that, the White House actually did get burnt down. Because it used to be brown, and now we have a White House because the last one got burnt down.
Okay, I'm just curious. Cause
it's
I'm like, so if this goes all the way through, they're just like, nah, Trump again, though.
Because
then
like,
what happens?
And as it stands, then Biden can dispute, and then it goes to a House vote, and then we vote in groups. And as of right now, we have more Democratic states than we have Republican states. So the House goes through, and they vote, and then that's the end of that. Unless some real hinky shit happens with that, but I doubt it. So, I mean, there's a lot of checks and balances, but in terms of, like, this ultimately happening could lead something to happen that a lot of people don't actually want to happen, because this leads to if like stuff doesn't go right and we don't peacefully transition, that leads to a constitutional crisis, and those are the things that lead to people's constitutions getting rewritten. So Republicans kind of don't want that, because if we rewrite the Constitution, it's a very strong chance that the Second Amendment gets rewritten, and people wouldn't really be a fan of that.
So assuming Biden is a president-elect and going to be the new president,
Okay.
y'all feel like your lives have changed, Sydney?
If I get that $50,000 of student debt relief, yes.
They can't do that shit.
Yeah, I can.
You ever like study economics? You know how much a thwart to everything just to wipe away debt?
Yeah, people. I mean, owing the government money does ultimately nothing, because it's not like we owe.
But that shit is a pipe dream that they sold you. That shit ain't never gonna happen.
I mean,
that's all they say that you want to hear to get you to vote for them. Not saying that Republicans don't do that, but how are you just gonna wipe away some debt? That don't make no sense. Do you think that's not gonna cause havoc in the people that you owe you money?
I owe money to the. People I owe money to. They would wipe away government loans, not private loans. They're like. They exist in two separate sectors because they can't.
But that's how they make their money, is off of debt. So if you just get rid of,
the government doesn't make any money. They're in $7 trillion worth of debt.
Yeah, but that's how you make money. Like, that's how motherfucking businessmen make money. They buy debt. So if no one's buying your debt, Charles, how are they gonna make cash?
Oh, no. They can't buy student loan debt. I legitimately have.
If there is no debt to buy, is my question. What are they gonna do? Do you understand?
Wipe out.
If they wipe out debt, what is there to buy to make money off of?
They can't buy that debt, though.
So where's it gonna go? Like, how? I guess. How does wiping your student loan debt really factor in? Like, do that just sound good to you, or have you like seen the ramifications of what would happen if there was just no more debt?
But that's the thing. The ramifications are actually like it is. Economists has actually studied it, because that frees a lot. The biggest gripes and the biggest thing. The way our actual economy was built, it was built on people spending money, and we have a whole generation of people that can't quite spend money because they're terrified because they have a lot of student loan debt. Mm-hmm. They don't buy houses because they have $50,000 in loans. So you get rid of that debt hanging over their head, even though it's technically considered to be positive debt. And when you're buying things, they actually don't, as long as you're current on your student loans, they don't actually weigh it into anything. Like me having student loans and someone having credit card debt, the $10,000 in credit card debt, I would probably need $100,000 worth of student loans before they actually got worried about it. Mm. But like wiping that out just frees up a lot of money to flow back into the economy, which then it actually ends up going back towards the government anyway, in taxes and a whole bunch of other things.
Well, at the end of the day, you signed a contract, so you should pay them back. That's your debt, bud. Like, just pay them back. Like, just pay them back. You signed it. People should take responsibility of things that they signed for.
I don't have a problem with
fuck that. Get rid of it.
Exactly.
I'm sorry that y'all signed up for that shit. Y'all did it.
But that's the thing. It's like, that is... I'm inside a profession that has more so the capability of paying it back, and I know a lot of people are paying it back. It just frees up money to go other places, and with the economy stymied, that's not something that we can necessarily afford to really do. Mm-hmm. So saying that people should just kind of pay it back because they did it is kind of like,
what an adult thing to do.
But that's also the inverse of the entire way the government runs.
That's how they make money off your ass.
But that's the thing. This is just like, if you can take my money and bail out General Motors, you can bail me out. Mm. So that's the way I feel about it.
He probably won't.
We'll see. As of this point, one person is promised me things that I didn't care about, and the other person promised me things that I did care about. So I'm going to go with the person who promised me things that I did care about. And ultimately, my life won't change if the other person does nothing, because the other person wasn't doing anything. So I have only possible upside and no real downside. So I'm going to go with the upside.
I feel that.
But
what?
Oh, I mean, that's the overall way I...
So, Ash, has your life changed?
Not at all.
Has your
I'm
parents'
still-
life changed?
They a little bit quieter than normal.
So, bitch, your life has changed because they're not yelling at the TV.
No, that's not a big fucking change though. I've been listening.
You have been complaining about that for weeks.
Them niggas gonna yell at Judge Mathis like.
Now they're not yelling. Yelling about us.
They gonna yell at Judge Mathis. A little quieter down a little bit, but overall, like my for real life, absolutely not. Nigga, I'm still trying to figure out how I'm gonna make money for bills and shit. Them niggas ain't really, it seems like a big circus to me. My life ain't really gonna change no matter who in office. I gotta worry about how me and my family gonna survive. And none of them niggas directly affect that for real, for real. If one day that changes, then maybe my tuna change. But they ain't running shit but they mouth, both of them. So, what was you saying earlier? They can do what they want to do as long as I can do what I want to do. And that's all I'm really concerned about. They could run their mouth, they could have all electoral votes and shit like that. They can do all of that shit, but I'm going to do what I want to do and build what I want to build.
And do you think the election was stolen from Trump? Do you think the election was stolen from Trump?
No, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't get into those politics, but it's just definitely something fishy going on with the votes. It don't quite add up to me for real, but I wouldn't go as far as to say something is being stolen or who won, because the fact that they just keep saying a projected winner is just weird as fuck. I don't know if you can call a winner before it's been won. That's just strange.
Generally, they won't 100% call a winner because they're still... I don't think all military votes have been counted, and I think those are pretty much the end of it.
Yeah, longest election in fucking history. Like I said, I've never seen anything like it before.
No, it was engineered like that.
Yeah.
It's like... So
I can't tell what the fuck is going on. And just because of that confusion would just lead me to believe, like, normally you just get the votes counted and this one is helly different. So I can't say really 100% because I really don't know. But I can see both sides.
I can't actually... Well, that's the funny thing. I can't see both sides.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I don't really think the both sidesism necessarily functions on this one because it's like one side created this particular situation in, like, Pennsylvania. They filed an injunction to stop them from counting mail-in votes before the day of the election. So this is what they wanted to happen, and for all the time, like, vote counting actually lasts, I do believe, for a week after the initial election. So it's not like this is particularly unusual. And this is the way that things are supposed to function. It just doesn't normally have to function that way because typically, like, I think Hillary conceded when it was 220 to 238. So no one had actually even got to the electoral vote total that they needed. It was just like, all right, based on the wins, based on where we needed to, like, the setup that we needed to do is like 0.5 chance of us actually winning. So
she should have played it out.
You could say play it out, but
why not?
If your advisors look at you and say, yeah, based on the counts and based on things, like, you're counting on votes from places that you didn't campaign, the likelihood of you winning those situations is, like, pretty low. That's like Hillary. Part of the reason why we're a red state now as it is because Democrats haven't really campaigned here inside the past 12 years. Like, Biden kind of came here, but Hillary ignored us. And then I guess Obama was here, so I guess the past 4 years, really. But,
Why are we ignored?
Oh. Well, our population is rapidly decreasing.
In Ohio?
Yes.
Oh.
We were originally worth 22 electoral votes. We are now worth 18. We have the same population as Georgia. About. Because there's a lot of flight from Ohio in general.
I wonder why.
There was nothing to do here for a real long time, and the industry hadn't caught up to the rest of the world, so people left. And since the data gets collected, we tend to, like, go down. probably after this census, I wouldn't be surprised if we were worth like 16 or something, and then we would actually become even less significant.
That's disappointing.
People don't want to live here.
If the Democrats win, I feel like we should do a quarterly update on what the fuck they're doing.
I mean,
Since everybody said that this was going to be so amazing, I feel like I better see something being happening, some conversation, something better be in the zeitgeist. That
Good luck. I'll be waiting patiently. Not really. I'm just going to tune in when y'all be like, they did this. I'm like, wow. If they do anything, that really helps.
exactly and so I'm not on that side. I wouldn't say I'm left leaning or right leaning. I just recognize that everybody wanted this, so cool, we got this. So now, what does this actually look like in terms of the change that you guys spoke about leading up to this? And if it doesn't look like anything, then I have other questions.
You can look at the effectively. I mean, the thing about it is the effectiveness of the office overall is like the thing is the power of the presidency is such a weird thing because ultimately it's not really the most effective thing, but you're technically the leader of your party, so it means you are the person who is making things happen, even though you are not the power with the person with the power to make things happen. Technically, the Senate and the House are the people who get shit done in terms of that. In which we still don't know the actual setup of the Senate because we're waiting for 2 senators to be elected in Georgia.
Yeah.
And we could end up with a 49-49 split in which Harris actually ends up being the deciding vote inside of all of those situations. So if everybody votes on party lines every single time, every bill that Democrats want to go through, it'll go through 50 to 49. And they can do it for the most part. But essentially whatever they want.
That sounds terrifying.
I mean, it didn't have. If people said nothing happened the last time, then nothing should happen this time, so. I mean.
But people said stuff happened. People made Trump to be, like, worse than the racists we have headed to office now.
I mean, he definitely utilized the executive actions, like, terribly aggressively, which is technically a power that Obama expanded, and then he expanded it more. So technically, Biden can they can either establish policy to restrict it, or they can abuse it and then restrict it.
Yeah,
because it's like, all right, we utilize this to undo all the things that the other dude did, which is kind of an annoying thing that every single person elected tends to do, is they come in and they try and undo everything that the previous guy did, as opposed to just moving forward based on the policy base that we have already.
AKA what I was talking about earlier. Damn.
Oh,
what were you talking about earlier?
When I was like, when people take over, so about the fact checking thing, I was like, well, people's agendas change depending on who's in power. So why would it be so far-fetched that one could definitely lean more towards liberal and have their fact checkers be like, well, this supports my agenda. Like, why would that be so far-fetched, I guess?
I don't really see the correlation between that and what I'm saying.
yeah.
I was saying that the next president tries to wipe out all of the policy that was established inside the previous president's thing.
But you do acknowledge that this shit happen. So I'm saying that can creep over to any business or whatever. It could just happen.
I mean, honestly, I would say businesses are more stable than a lot of politics are. Though it's like a lot of people have the same people working for them for God knows how long. And you have business is often once you get into inside the macro business, is oftentimes a very long-term plan type of thing. So I don't see businesses that are that spastic as typically being terribly successful. So, I mean, that's part of the reason why I kind of look at Facebook and Facebook. I'm particularly looking at Facebook trying to figure out what the hell their long-term plan is, because now they have a foot in everywhere, and they're just like this largely spread out entity that doesn't really know what it is anymore. And I feel like Instagram is more focused, and that's technically the reason why it's actually more successful. But
that doesn't matter.
Oh,
they own Instagram.
I know.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. What do that mean?
They own Instagram, but it's still technically a more focused entity that's growing faster than Facebook is growing now. Like, you have more Instagram users than you have Facebook users. And it's just like, well, why is that? Why are these people who are over here using this over here?
Because Instagram is basically every other app also. It does what Snapchat does. It's starting to try and do what TikTok does. Like, Instagram just assumes all other social medias.
But it's still
functionality except for Twitter.
It's still within the sphere. It's just like, all right, you're doing video and pictures. All right, we're doing what Snapchat does. Well, that's just pictures and video. All right, well, that's cool. We're doing what TikTok does. Still just video, so that's fine. We're still within our sphere. Facebook is like, all right, we're going to stream. And we also want to do streaming. We also want to have a marketplace. We also want to like have all this shit.
Facebook's trying to be the internet.
And, but the thing is, they don't do any particular thing well enough to stop me from going somewhere else. Go to the person who did that better first. Like, if I'm trying to buy or sell something, I'm still going to go over to eBay. I'm not going to use Facebook's marketplace.
But a lot of people do.
I mean, I feel like those people probably use all of them.
And Facebook marketplace replaced Craigslist.
Craigslist still exists.
No one really fucks with Craigslist.
I mean,
if you can go on Facebook Marketplace where you're already scrolling.
I mean, the reason people use Facebook Marketplace.
And realistically, what Facebook is doing is just creating more reasons for you to stay on Facebook. That's it. Nothing else. Literally nothing else.
I feel like their user base would be expanding larger than it is if they were trying to actually get. It's like, if you're trying to create reasons for people to come and people aren't coming.
Not come. That's not what I said. For you to stay on it.
Oh, for me, it's
the people that use it stay on Facebook all day. They're making it less and less imperative for you to leave Facebook. Their goal isn't, because their aggregate model is ads. So the longer you stay on Facebook, the more they can charge for ads, because that shows that they have a user base that is dedicated for this amount of time. My grandma, it's the older crowd loves Facebook. My grandmother sits on Facebook for 8 to 9 hours a day, doing nothing.
Yo, my mom be on there on her tablet too, playing Candy Crush.
Ads out the wall. So they're making money. That's what it's not to make new followers. That's why they have Instagram. So they don't have to do both with Facebook because they own Instagram. That's why I said that. They own the thing that is the most popular. They own the thing that is doing the best inside of social media. They do that as well. But they also have the old generation that just wants to sit and scroll and doesn't really understand social media, but they know that Facebook was about sharing with family. So that's how they got them in the beginning.
You know, my mother said
and now it's just how they get all their news and everything.
She was like, she saw some weird ass random article and start yelling at me about it, like a little makeup shop we like to go to. Ashley, is it closing down? I'm like, why would it close down, Mom? Why is this happening? Okay. And she's on Facebook simultaneously while she's on Candy Crush on her tablet that I got her for Christmas. It's I'm just like, God damn.
Responsibility for it.
I think it's hilarious. I definitely know that they ain't got really much else to do, so I'm not going to try to tell them, like, you need to get off social media. They raised 3 fucking kids. They could do whatever they want with their merry little life right now. I'm not there to change it. But I definitely see the shit.
I mean, my father doesn't use any of that stuff. And my mother does. My mother uses Facebook, but
my mom be on there just scrolling away.
My mother is more technologically capable than a lot of people, and it's just like, they ask me, do I need this?
No, but see, you have to just take the aggregate, not the people that are more capable, and that's what you usually do. You judge from the standpoint of more people that are capable. Judge from the common mass. In mass, people aren't technologically capable, and especially the older generation doesn't give no fucks. So something that they can share the memes, have all of the good times. They can see all the videos and everything
They
like
click
that.
the links and shit. Be like, Ash, I got this off of the site.
Yeah.
Why are you doing that?
They be on there. My grandmother get shit in the mail all the time. I be like, I hate that I showed her Wish. Like, that is my fault. I take full responsibility
Yo,
for
she
showing
be
her
getting
that.
shit in the mail, looking at me like, I don't like this ring. It looked like it cost $1.
And not trusting it on Facebook, but she been asking me about it. But I like had a whole like escapade on Wish. I was like, yeah, no, go ahead. And then now, that is her shit.
That is my mother's
shit. And I be
shit.
like, you gotta stop. Like,
no, she is not
Been
stopping.
heavy on the makeup as of late. It's real weird. Well, it's not really.
Nah,
weird, but
yeah,
it's this is just like. It's like there were point in times when it's just like she's asking me like, "Hey, Charlie, are you home?" Like, yeah, you gotta go downstairs and get my package. Like, oh, is it something important? Like, oh, you just gotta go get it. Gotta go get it. It's makeup. No one's trying to steal this.
It don't matter. Go get it. I understand. She be getting it from Sephora and shit. You don't understand how expensive makeup is.
I do understand how expensive makeup is. I've had to go into Ulta Beauty, and I spent like $150 on a color palette for my sister.
So why would you want to sit it outside? Go get that palette.
If you didn't want it to sit outside, you should have just went to the store.
No,
you should have took off to be here to get it yourself.
We asked you very nicely.
No,
get it off the porch. Please.
Or you can just set
starts the sentence wrong.
Just set it up to the point where
if I set your controller outside, we're gonna have a fucking problem, ain't me? Hey, babe, go get my stuff off the court. No, I don't think it's not really that important. Bitch, I will text you.
First things first.
No, see, y'all want to play like that. But if I left y'all little computer shit out there, y'all look at me real fugazi like, a lot of love going around here.
Another thing that you have to understand, they won't leave that stuff outside. I actually have to go get that.
Well, direct signature, even if you wanted me to sign for my stuff, can you go pick it up? It don't matter. That matters to me, so go out there and get my shit.
You know the thing about it? If no one's home, I just go get my stuff. It's not the end of the world.
Listen, she asked you to do
UPS
something that's clearly important to her, so you're gonna do it.
It's just like it's like someone's gonna steal my package. No
goddamn right.
Steal your stuff.
It don't matter.
We've never had any of our packages stolen.
It don't matter. Go get it. Today could be the day. Somebody just be like, I need it.
Like,
that's women logic for you.
Hell fucking yeah.
It's like,
who said rationality was part of the situation?
It's like,
get my stuff.
Get my stuff. Okay.
We had like a $2,000 bicycle sit outside, but this makeup is the thing that's gonna be the piece de resistance. It only matters because you
my
care about
eyeshadow
it.
showed up any type of wet, I'm gonna be upset. Oh my god!
Why don't she go get it?
Because I didn't ask me to go get it. I asked you, person that I really enjoy being around, get it off the porch.
You know the thing about it is, it's just like the way I exist inside my house is like I exist in my room and in the kitchen.
So that shouldn't be it. That shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, my whatever. This shit means something to you. Throw it on the couch. Damn.
That's exactly what I did.
Exactly.
Because you were sitting up. Well, my entire thing is you're talking to me like this is something terribly critical.
It is.
Like, it's not.
To me.
Because you know the thing
important.
about it? If you're omitting the thing that it is.
I just need you to go get it. Why are you asking a question?
Right, what is it? Why are you asking me a question? You're asking me a question.
Listen.
If this is a two-way street, then what are we doing here?
Please go get my things off the porch. You want her to ask you?
What is it?
Please.
What is it? See, that's the thing.
Important.
You know you were doing something real fugazi if you're not willing to answer the question.
It's important as fuck.
It's like when you
the word important has a very defined meaning.
Yes. Important.
Critical.
Important, motherfucker. Go get it. I don't have time for these questions.
You have to understand. It's just like, I don't know. That's the funny thing. Is like, I don't know how I'm actually going to be when I'm actually married or something. Because if I go out there and it's makeup, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take it back outside and I'm going to take out the thing.
Why would you do that? It's makeup. See, now y'all the ones that keep saying it's not important. And then you find out what it is. You be like, why'd you make me do all of that for this? It don't. Then you gonna be petty and try to destroy what means something to a woman. Oh my God. Well, no.
It's specifically because of the fact that you just omitted it.
No, I said it was important. Damn.
Saying it's important It's not like a catch-all. It's
Even
just
if
like,
I said it was
and
a
then you're gonna
palette,
add the
alright,
asterisk afterwards. It's important to me. It's
Yes.
like, no, this isn't a personal attack
Alright.
on you.
Okay, so if she was like, it's like a really expensive makeup palette, I spent $150 on it. What would you say then? If I was just like, all right, this is
First
how much I
things
spent.
first. Why are you spending $150 on
See
that?
all this extra shit.
I will probably ask all these questions as I walk outside.
Y'all. No, nobody question
Because
y'all
it's
when
like-
we just show up with 15 million fucking gadgets and shit like that. It's like 2 Nintendo Switches that came in the goddamn mail. We know it's important to you, so what the fuck do I care? All right, you gonna get it off the porch. Okay, damn.
I mean, well, first, the first thing I'm going to question, why the fuck did they put my Nintendo Switch in the goddamn mailbox? I specifically told them.
All right,
that this
if
is something-
somebody got a sign for it or whatever, go to the post office and pick this up for me. Okay.
I do that stuff myself. I'm a very independent type of guy in terms of, if it's something that I care about, I will do everything that I need to do in order to make sure I get that thing.
Listen,
That's
she
what
did everything she needed to do to make sure she get that thing. She paid her money and put her address in there.
That's not everything that
What
you
else do I need to do?
be there when the package shows
No.
up.
Pick
If
it
it's
up
that
off
important.
the porch for me, pretty please, with sugar on top.
This is just
That's
like,
it.
and the thing is, when I ask someone else to do something, it's always like, well, why do you need that particular thing? Oh, I'm gonna have computer parts probably coming in the mail.
You gonna say exactly what the fuck I said? Get my shit off the fucking porch before I slap your ass.
It's just like, why? Because what I'm actually have out there is terribly moisture sensitive, and I'll have to send it back.
Yeah, see,
If I actually
that's
get it.
my shit is moisture
You're-
sensitive too. If water get
It's
in there,
hermetically sealed.
oh my god, that don't matter.
Yes, it does. That
I want it
moisture
off the
can't come
porch.
into it.
No,
It's like,
Imagine you just said no.
it's just like you're
No
not.
what?
As of this point, your entire shield
the fuck
is
I
just
say.
being hard headed
Yes.
and no logic.
I clearly said rationality was out the window way a long time ago.
She did say that.
I
admit that
damn
you're
sure
not
know
right.
this is not rational,
I'm
but
not-
I don't care.
I'm not mad that she
Oh,
did
I guess
say
I hit-
that
I just hit on
rationality
a no.
was out of there.
I
Completely out
guess
the
I hit a
window.
note on you because I guess there has been a time where you called your father and was like, hey, can you get this package from blah blah blah.
I just
No.
know, like, when you spend that much money on something, and regardless of what it is, and I just be like, have a sense of urgency about it. I don't see what's wrong with it. With anything. Just kindly. Don't try to relegate my makeup. Nigga, you don't know nothing about makeup. It
Actually,
means
I
a lot
do.
to me.
Well,
You
my thing
spent
is-
money on it. That's what you did.
Oh
My thing is,
oh, you have to understand.
why did my sense of urgency? Why does your sense of urgency have to impact my life?
Why? If you're living together like that, if that's like a for real cohesive ass environment, we are all working together to make things better. You know what make my day better? My shit not sitting on the fucking porch.
That's not what we're doing.
Yes, it is. So you just sitting in the house, just not giving a fuck what your mom be up to? No. You
Yes.
want to make her life
They're
easier, don't
pretty
you?
much
You don't wanna-
like two ships passing in the night. Kind
Very-
A lot-
okay.
but-
You don't want to make your mom's life harder, right?
I
That
don't.
doesn't make your life harder.
It
That
don't
doesn't-
matter. It may make it harder to her in her mind. This shit gotta get done. Son, do this for me. Now.
All I know
What are you
is-
talking about? What is this? Why are you
What-
asking me questions?
what
Just
I-
get it off the
but
porch.
what I know is, you could have took off and been here to do this. How you plan something for me and make my life more different? So
Nobody planned this for you. It just showed up then.
So
If
my
it
life-
had showed it any other
but
time,
you
I
asking
would
me
have
to do
got
this
it.
is making my life more difficult.
No, it's not.
How does
That's
that?
not it. No, it's not. It's a minor.
How does it
maybe
not go
at
the
best,
same
a
way?
minor
How does it not go the
inconvenience.
same way? How do you get to decide what is inconvenient for my life?
Cause you know goddamn well you
That's
sitting in your
fugazi.
room playing with your
That's
dick
wild.
is damn sure not a fucking
I'm
life
definitely
changing.
not playing with my dick. I'm definitely laying there.
Even if I am, it's my dick, and I can play with it if I want
getting
to.
off
I'm
work.
asking you to just pause that
I'm
real
getting
quick.
I'm getting in from work at like
It just
3 to
grab it.
4 a.m. in the morning. So I'm knocked out. And it's just like, I get this phone call. I'm like, hello? Hey, I got a what? Well, package. Something's really important.
Okay, that's
What's important?
that's inconsiderate. That's inconsiderate. I will give
Like,
you
what's
that.
important? What?
If that's what happened, all right, I'm gonna give you that.
Typically, when someone tells me something is important, I stop what I am doing to get it done, and then I will be irritated because you used the wrong vernacular for this. It's just like, hey, when you get the chance, can you go out and grab this package for me? Mm-hmm. Important means right now, this second. If you sitting there in your boxers programming something and you're doing something for work, stop what you're doing. Put your pants on. Go downstairs. Grab it out.
Put your pants on.
Well, it should just be.
This nigga be like, I'll be programmed with my fucking pants off, nigga.
It's like, I don't know. I mean, everybody does stuff with their pants off, right? Like,
I mean, I don't know, Charles. I feel like
you've walked around here with just a towel on and your boxers.
Life has been.
Don't act like you haven't. It's just like, and this is with people in the house.
Hey, I had covering.
You're sitting up here like, and you know I'm sitting there looking at you like, nigga, what the fuck are you doing?
Life is an interesting place.
It's like,
you ever enjoyed life, Charles?
What type of question?
I don't understand how not having any pants on with people around is like the way to go.
Sometimes life is so good I can taste it in my spit.
It's gross.
That's
a saying, is what that is.
That's a
he
what?
said something. That's what the fuck he just said. Something came out of his mouth and it sounded like a sentence.
Why are y'all so hostile?
Because we just had this entire conversation about people try. Because it feels, I hate being deceived. And like when you're not really explicit about what's going on.
Strong fucking word. Because it's important to moi.
See,
it's not deceptive. I told you it was important. I told you.
You have to understand. I'm a utilitarian generally. So what's important is it's just like, oh shit, this is actually gonna affect everyone's day-to-day life.
It is.
No, that was important.
I'm aggravated. Now everyone must pay.
So
that is such a
to you
unhealthy way to operate.
I know you ain't talking about unhealthy. This nigga will wait 3 to 4 business days to text back a bitch just because he slighted him in the most inconvenient way. That's healthy as fuck, ain't it?
Why are we talking about that?
That's so unhealthy, Ash.
Talking about me.
Ash took extreme offense to that entire conversation.
3 to 4 business days.
Yeah, if you don't text me back, then I can't respond to you. I don't know what's going on.
And this is
who are you?
Just like,
where did you come from?
Super healthy, ain't it?
Yes.
Oh, all right.
This is the way you
hit her with the new phone. Who this?
No, this is just this is the way you communicate. Clearly,
this is how it feels. This is how it feels. It doesn't feel great, does it?
No, not even this how it feels. This is how you like to communicate.
Healthy.
So this is how I have to communicate with you.
Healthy situations all around.
Like I said, it's like putting your dog's nose inside the poop that it made inside of your house.
Healthy.
It's just like, look what you did. Look what you did.
You know what? No one asked y'all whether my shit was healthy or not. Y'all can shut the fuck up.
Comment on how healthy my life was.
I don't know. We're not talking about
your life not healthy. You toxic. How about that? You toxic towards all liberals.
What? Yeah, I guess that would be one.
Yeah.
He's not to like.
You hate a liberal ass nigga. Or
That's
a
a strong
hotep.
word.
Hoteps.
Hoteps aren't liberal.
No,
yeah, they are.
They're conservative as fuck.
Hoteps is liberal than a motherfucker.
It's like they don't think the government should take broad strokes and things. They like Hoteps are motherfuckers who say they're freaking poly and then don't want their women to date anybody else.
Do you
Hoteps
think that government should take broad strokes and things?
I mean, that's what liberalism is for the.
No, but I'm asking you.
Liberalism.
What?
I mean,
what's happening? I'm confused.
I mean, as long as it doesn't inherently violate the Constitution, I'm fine with that.
Why?
I mean, giving everybody health care, I'm fine with that. Doing general socially responsible and things that would actually affect people's overall quality of life, I'm fine with it. Saying that it's because as it stands, our infrastructure was not real. The infrastructure of America was not really set up to deal with the way things are currently, and I've also seen these systems function inside of other first world countries. I understand all those first world countries aren't quite as large as we are, so that means the setup is going to have to be generally a bit different. But saying it's impossible is also kind of the defeatist mentality, and it also is like a lot of the social. It's weird because the funny thing about it is some of the most notable conservatives are actually the people who put in a lot of the social services that we have now, and a lot of the things that we enjoy, because it's like public busing, public schools, public anything really, public parks. It's just like all these things that everybody likes, and they're like, but liberalism is bad. It's just like, no.
I don't think liberalism is bad at all.
But I can also say that there are definitely less like there are toxic conservatives, there are toxic liberals.
Definitely.
Because it's just like, and the weird thing is, a lot of the times it is quintessentially pretty much the same demographic that tends to be the toxic conservatives. I think that's about the gentlest way I can really say that.
No, I think both sides of the spectrum is very necessary, because they both complement each other. Liberalism is definitely a little bit more free-flowing. Conservatism is definitely a bit more rigid. If they could be cohesive with each other, we'd probably have a little bit better, less chaotic. But I don't think the human mind can do that at all. So
I'm just not down for certain things. Like, you say certain people aren't allowed to exist is problematic to me. Like, in general, it's just like,
that's very true. That's why I say that liberalism has its place. But so does conservatism. They could both come together cohesively if they wanted to. But
but the weird thing is, it's like conservatives have kind of lost it, because like there are different types of conservatism, and a lot of people don't know this. You could be a constitutionalist, or you can be like like as of right now, as what we know as a conservative. Like a constitutionalist just says, as long as it's not against the Constitution, it's cool. Mm-hmm. And that is the primary document. And when someone says they are a conservative judge, that means they are textualists. What the law says is what it says, and that is the way it should be interpreted. And honestly, we want textualists in place, because textualists are the way that we actually get same-sex marriage. Mm-hmm. Like, it was a very textualist thing. It says man and woman. Like, no, even though that's what kind of the text says, that is not what's intended upon what they're saying, because textualists also interpret what it says, and it says, even though this is what, like, we can very easily like interpret the fact that this is not what the fuck this means. Like, textualists are also kind of the reason why Obamacare isn't going to be struck down. It's like, well, textualists is just like, well, this is against the Constitution. Where does it say that this is in the Constitution that this is illegal? Mm-hmm. Where? It's just like, well, it doesn't say it in the Constitution, then get the fuck out of here. Like, go do your jobs. Like, this is the law. You guys wrote the law, and now you're not happy about it. Shut the fuck up and leave us alone. But, kind of, people don't really understand the way the judicial branch works out. And even our current president really doesn't understand how it works. Like, it's real weird, because he thinks that this is going to make it, like, him challenging votes is going to make it to the Supreme Court, and it won't. It just won't.
That's defeatist. No,
it's not really defeatist. It's just the way that it's not going to make it past the state Supreme Courts.
I don't know what's going to happen, but
there's no federal law
defeatist when I hear one. I'm just playing.
I know what defeatist.
There's no federal law broken, and I've talked to lawyers about this. They're like, no, it's not. Like, people don't know how law works, and that's kind of part of a lot of other issues, and part of the reason why we should probably do law podcasts and shit like that. But I have people that I want to do that with, but that is for when we get the recording studio.
Yeah.
Anywho,
Ash's turn.
I don't want to go.
What you mean?
You gotta go. I forgot
that
the ethics book I was gonna bring you.
Oh, because I asked that question about
Nietzsche.
Yeah, the Nietzsche stuff, and it was just like, and you asked the questions like, well, how many different ethical paragraphs are there? It's just like, oh, there's a lot actually.
Nietzsche? I didn't know what the fuck ethics was. I don't be. Anyway, so I got two different topics.
You were about to say, I don't need no fucking ethics book.
No, I was about to say, I don't be going on half the time for real. But anyway, but thank you for thinking about me. I don't know if I want to bring that one up. Hold on. Give me a second.
One.
That's childish.
Fuck you.
I mean,
I think I'm going to kick it old school today. and bring up
Old school, G.
Yeah. Kicking it old school.
Yes, I can.
Kamala Harris said something to the effect of that black women are the backbone of society. I take issue with that. Let's just get that out the way. But I also got to thinking about this whole concept around black love, and I wanted to know, first of all, do y'all think that black women are the backbone of society? Number one. And I guess the second question would be, y'all think like black love is only really like is sold to us differently than like quote unquote white love, I guess? Like y'all think that we fed like a version of what it's supposed to look like, and if so, you think it's good or bad for us? We can start for the first question. I'll ask the second question later.
First question is, when it comes to bailing motherfuckers out, yes.
Yeah.
I just think overall black women have a higher expectation when it comes to just bailing people out.
Mm-hmm.
When they do some bullshit, they be looking at you like, "Mama, come save me."
Yeah.
Okay, baby, I'm coming. And it's just like, hell, I can't say that my mother won't do it for me. And it's like, I'm not saying that white women won't do that for their kids per se. It's just like, I feel like there are I don't feel, it just feels different, because one child sometimes is honestly putting their mother inside of an untenable situation. It's just like, they're at work, and it's just like, I got picked up by cops and I need you to come get me. I'm leaving work to come get you. It's just like, that motherfucker can sit in that clink until like after you get off work, probably. Mm-hmm. It's not really gonna change too much. And it's just like, just in situations like that. But I also understand it's indicative to, it's kind of a racial issue, because somewhat of a issue, because like a lot of if you look at it thematically in terms of overall net wealth, some people, like black women, can't necessarily afford to leave their jobs to go take their kids out, where some white parents can. It's more likely that you'll just have a free parent inside a white household, when there are, I would say more, but a higher percentage of single parent African American households than the other one. So like the expectations are just kind of different. It's also weird for her to say that based on her mother being Indian. So it means that, well, I guess her father's, but he's just around her grandmother. So
I can add context to why she said it.
I mean, they carry elections.
That's why she said it. It's because they turned out more than all other most other demographics, just period. And that's what carried this election. And also,
youth vote also carried it quite a large bit this time around.
Yeah, but then them not being super enthusiastic about last election is also
quintessentially what spited. Yeah, because like the primaries had a very high number of votes for the Democrats, but when Bernie lost, everyone got really dejected, and those same voters didn't pivot over to Hillary.
No, they're not the same.
No, they're not the same. And that was quintessentially people saying, I mean, that's quintessentially what their voters did, is kind of what black people need to do inside of such situations. Is just like, oh, bet you think you just get these votes for real? Nah, fuck y'all for real. It's just like, oh, it's just like y'all looking at us like, well, we needed you guys to turn out for us. It's just like, nah, fuck y'all for real. So about this, and this is also the time when they came back with $50,000, like an executive action for $50,000 in student debt relief. They were pandering to, because that's what I do believe all politicians do. They pander.
But I would say that I do agree that black women are the
backbone of the Democratic Party.
I mean, that's what she meant.
I don't think that's really an arguable.
That's
thing.
more so what she meant. But
the country. Why?
I would say yes and no. I say they do a lot of the organizing, marching, and like trying to get and gather people together. Now, how effective that always turns out to be might be a different story. But I think that they try to get us to walk upright. And I think that's what your backbone is supposed to do. It don't really lead you nowhere. It don't really like sway you in any direction. It just kind of make you walk up straight. And they just try to straighten us up every once in a while. That's how I look at it. Now, she might have admitted it in a completely different way, but that's not how I'm taking it. I just feel like a lot of times it seems like, even in political activism, it seems like black women are like on both sides of the aisle. If it's Candace Parker for conservatives or it's Joanne Reed for liberals, you have a black woman that's kind of like trying to lead that and like, I don't know, give it some type of semblance of form.
Because it's like, I guess the example for Kamala is pretty much Georgia. Because it was pretty much Atlanta that, like...
Do you think she should have specified Stacey Abrams in Georgia instead of just saying black women?
That is a large argument that a lot of people are having, because a lot of people inside of Georgia are taking offense to everyone giving Stacey Abrams all of the credit, because there were other people who did a lot of work prior to Stacey Abrams. And it also helped push Stacey Abrams to the point that she was. So it was just kind of like... She was, I guess, one of the cornerstones of doing it, but she was not exclusively the reason. So giving her all of the credit is like, I guess, waving off everyone else. Which I guess, depending upon your type of person that you are, you can take offense to that. I'm not generally, because I'm typically the person who works behind the scenes, I don't take offense to that. If my credit's on the bylines, and it's just like, and I still get, in terms of in closed doors, in terms of getting jobs and getting credit for stuff, it's just like publicly, because when shit blows up, that also means that shit's not coming down on my head. This is all Stacey Abrams, and it's just like, and if something goes bad, it's also all Stacey Abrams.
True, very true. But no, I like I said, I think that black women have done a pretty decent job of trying to get people to act right, or what their version of acting right is, depending on which political leaning side they're on.
Get your ass in the church.
But I do think that they actively take up on that role no matter where they're at.
And do the quicksand.
But you said you disagreed. Why you making that face now?
Well, she said specifically she takes offense to that.
He said if it was leaning towards building something up for a political party, then yes, because the reason why I wish it would stop is where I probably would have worded it better, is because I'm kind of tired of people seeing black women as these workhorses and as these warriors, when really that's not to say that that warrior archetype don't exist in women, but when is that gonna stop being our job, I guess? And for people like her to keep championing this, because I feel like, speaking for me personally, and just seeing what women got to go through on a day-to-day basis, it's just tired of the fucking, we don't know that we tired, or they don't know that they're tired of that whole fucking role. And I would just kind of wish it would end. Like, that's not really that's not really like a feminine role. And the fact that we keep getting thrusted into that shit puts us out of our place to like, well, we not nurturing our families to be the best that they could be. And I don't know, I'm just sick of hearing that shit. Like, why are we like, every time I see a BLM, it's just some angry black chick doing something for the most part. And I'd say I don't see any dudes doing anything, but primarily that role, not to say that it should be, and I get it, if everybody gonna come and start to play politics about gender roles, you could do that, but a more masculine role is definitely built to be more of a fighter than a woman's role is. And like I said, you can see that archetype in women. It's not the one that's mostly played out. But it is something that I wish we didn't have on our plate so much as to be carrying, like she would say, an entire country. I guess if we had to take it that way, an entire country of getting people to get out and vote and things like that. Why is that a black woman's job? Why does she have to keep being a sacrificial lamb when she's clearly fucking tired? She's tired. My nigga, when is these niggas go step up and them be the fucking backbone?
That's fair. Nah, I can agree with that, where it does seem like that is what's expected of y'all.
Yeah, for us to be in your
a lot
face,
less celebrated.
Like, who was that dude that was caught at a rally and then the mother started whooping his ass in public? That shit was so uncalled for. Because first of all, that emasculates like black males in the first place. Like, your mom is an authority figure over you. I don't remember if he was underage or not, so I can't really question over that. But just seeing that symbol being replayed over and over again, you know, I don't know where the dad is in that situation. It's like, I understand that people don't think Trump did anything for black people, but one of the things that I knew that he did was start a committee for black fathers and black sons. And I know Larry Elder was appointed to sit on that committee. I don't know what Democrats is doing, but that's one of the biggest problems that we is facing is not so much masculinity is running its ugly head. There's a lack of masculinity. I'm not going to call Tony out on this one, but I know Tony has like Tony is super masculine, and a lot of people can't handle that because they're not used to seeing him just saying, no, these are my boundaries, and you're not about to cross that. However strong they are, but that's a super masculine trait, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but when did we start seeing that as wrong? And that's what like a lot of male role models provide, is that thing to say, no, this is not happening this way, it's going to happen this way, not because necessarily I'm being a tyrant, it's because this is what might serve the best as a whole. We don't see that so much. And I feel like I love black women, obviously, but watching my mother try to parent, my father kind of took a back seat, was a little bit detrimental to the boys because they didn't tap into that part of them that would have them to say, well, let them take that burden off of my mother, so to speak, or to actually have that male confidence in them. And for a woman to lead in that part, there's no balance there. She has very much power, and her wisdom is very much needed. But where's the niggas at in this situation? You know what I mean?
Well, I guess we'll start from probably what Kamala Harris actually meant. Niggas don't vote.
Mm-hmm.
So, in that one, I mean, that's what you just disparagingly. Evidence out of this election, niggas didn't vote. For real. I don't know what the thing about it is. I guess more people are just kind of...
More black men voted for Trump.
Yeah. It's just like, I don't know.
You think that's saying something about like how black men feel, or what would y'all say about that decision? What would y'all say about that?
I mean, my initial thought is always critical thinking in terms of stuff like that. And like, for the black council thing for Trump thing is just like, I don't know. I don't look at councils and things like that. And scholarly endeavors always is like a big thing for that. But I don't even really I just don't get it.
Why? What don't you understand about it?
Like, all right, just looking at the black dudes voting for Trump thing, it's just like, why? It's like, do you think? Cause a lot of people just kind of fell for the rhetoric of like, these people are stealing jobs that we don't want, or it's stealing jobs and it's just like H-1B visas and taking opportunities that I don't think anyone's taking any opportunities from me per se. So there's just a lot of things I don't really get about it in terms of like, should black women have to carry everything? No, I fundamentally don't believe that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, I never really thought of having boundaries as a hyper-masculine thing.
Not to say that what he was doing is a hyper-masculine thing, but I wouldn't say like that's something like men today are just super, I wouldn't say they're super agreeable, but they definitely more agreeable than most, to where like, if we had to see how he act, like, would you say like you think niggas is not soft, but like they don't have how would you put it?
I'll say this. I spent a decent amount of time just in the company of nothing but women. And there is a lot of conversation and inspirational, like, ideas. Like, that's the best place. If you're going to want, like, supporting ideas to be fostered, go around some women. It's not really where I found the most, like, next step to action. Unless it's, like, critical situations where they feel like...
You gotta act.
Yeah, where it's the Black Lives Matters, but... in just like a general sense where they feel like they can be womanly, it's a lot of ideas, and then me as a man coming through and being able to lead. But me being able to lead also means that I have very defined boundaries on what is acceptable and what's not permissible. They're just like, well, I thought that would be cool. No. So we're going to do these things because these things are going to lead this way.
I mean, for me...
And so I think that's more of a male's perspective. But I also think that's why men don't really look at relationships seriously for the vast majority of their early teens and to mid to late 20s. You're a lot more focused on what's going to lead your life in a direction.
Yeah,
and
I can say that.
Relationships don't lead in a direction. They're a circumstance of directions, but they don't lead you. Me being in a relationship isn't going to lead me anywhere.
I'm not going to fundamentally change because I've been inside a relationship, because I'm not inside a relationship to change myself.
Exactly. And that's the difference with women. Being in a relationship changes the fundamental kind of behavior and outlook on things. There's a level of protection, security, and things like that come inside of a relationship that doesn't exist inside of just the world at large.
Like I said.
But that's not the same thing for men. So that's why I do agree with what Ash is saying, where I don't think that it's the most... There was this girl in Seattle, the first girl that I met out there. She had issues with, like, men and, like, dating and things like that. And what I told her is the way you talk to men is the reason why they don't want to date you. And it's because she was hyper masculine. I'm independent. Don't do anything for me. I don't want a partner that I don't feel like doesn't need me on some level. And while that might sound weird, I feel like that's the same way for most men.
Yeah, and they just don't know that. That's how men feel love. That. They need to be needed in their relationships to feel that level of love.
I guess that's true. I've had this conversation. It's like, all right, why don't you want anybody to do anything for you? I don't really need anybody to do anything for me, but I'll do stuff for you, but I don't really need anything from you. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to help you out, but I'm not necessarily here to be helped. Like, me falling back on my girlfriend is pretty much the last thing I'm going to do.
Yeah, but if she was to come to you, that would make you feel good.
I mean, if she comes to me, I'm just going to solve whatever problem that she comes to.
No, we're not going to talk about that. That's irrelevant. How do you feel about it?
I mean, I guess I feel a type of way, but...
All right, so let's look at it this way. What if she has an issue and she goes to somebody else and not you? How do you feel then?
Oh, well... It's just like, well, why don't you go with that nigga then?
Yeah, exactly. Because you feel away. You see, so like I said.
Well, it's just like, I went over to Jeff. Fuck Jeff. Why are you over there?
Exactly. Because men need that level of dependency to feel like you love us. And that's what some women don't understand. They want to be so independent that they don't understand that your dependency, or not even dependency, your willingness to allow me to be there to support you is something that I do need to make this a productive relationship.
And where women come into that one, just from my personal experience, I didn't really, like I said, I solved a lot of my problems on my own. And my dad didn't necessarily help me super much. Like, I'm not going to say he didn't help me at all, but it's super hard to depend on him to really help me with problems. So therefore, I developed this fucking thing where it's like, oh, all you niggas is like this. I can't really trust anybody to come to that. Shut up. I can't really trust that. But the problem with women now is that they have trouble distinguishing neediness with just needing a person. And maybe some women feel like, well, am I being needy? Am I going to drive him away? A lot of women can't feel like in that place of vulnerability, which is why I wish like women like Kamala Harris wouldn't say some stupid shit like that, because that's a huge fucking role that a lot of people don't know they don't want. You know what I mean? Like, we always fed this, like I said, you always fed this image of just this black woman being this tough thing. It's like, well, what about her softness? Because I know damn sure my mother tired and she just kind of want to rest, but she don't really feel like she can. And that's something I was just like, well, when did that start? I'm not trying to fix it for her or anything like that. But, and you see that with a lot of women, black or white. When did this start to where you feel like now that you have to, and I get it, you can prove to yourself that you equal to a nigga if that's what you want to do with your life, but are you really equal in that regard to where you have to go out and keep proving that you some type of warrior. Yeah, bitch, we know you gonna fight, but do you have to do that? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, to a fundamental, I guess to a point, I feel like everyone has to fight up to a certain point because, I mean, it sucks to say this, but I always look at life as generally as a fight. Life is, it's easy in some ways, but sometimes you gotta walk upstream in order to get to where you want to go. And sometimes, like, you just have everything wearing on you.
yeah, of course.
But do you always want to be doing that? That is your existence 24/7? Probably not.
Yeah, and that's what, like, I feel like the motherfuckers need to stop perpetuating that just on black women. Just because you wanted to do it doesn't mean that all of us should be want to do it. And I don't know what that looks like for all women. Like, if you choose to be hypergamous or not, or whatever the fuck you want to do with your life, that's really on you. But this constant stereotype that we somehow these fucking workhorses, man, is really exhausting. And I wish you would just,
I mean,
just die.
I mean, you have to understand. I guess we're inside of. It makes sense for us to a certain degree, overcorrect because that's kind of how things happen. Mm-hmm. And at probably up to, I want to say 60 years ago, so that means we have like pretty much 4,000 almost odd years of women being told that you can't do all these things. And now we've finally hit the point where it's like women are being like just aren't being disqualified just off of the course of you being a woman. So it seems like society might be overcorrecting a skosh towards another direction. Mm-hmm. And it's just like you may end up finding the middle ground in this because it's not like every single woman is having this problem, I guess. Because there are a lot of people with functioning relationships, and like I don't see relationships where the guy is super hyper apologetic, like all they do is apologize. A lot of those relationships just don't work.
Yeah,
it's
I
like
don't
when
see.
They kowtow to the wife, I guess.
I don't see a lot of men apologizing, but I'll just say that they tend to be more agreeable.
You want, dear.
Yeah, not like I don't see.
I'm sorry, dear.
I don't really. I don't surround myself with those type of men, but I know they do exist. But they're a little bit more agreeable because that's how they were taught to be, rather than tapping into that part that says, "No, I don't want this." And it's, I don't know. I'm not gonna say.
There's certain things that are always wild to me when I look at people who are in relationships and they just say, when their wife says they can't go somewhere or something, I'm like, what the fuck is going on over there?
No, that girl I was talking about, she, after we stopped talking because she was crazy and... All right, so I routinely went to go see my family in California. And then I would also come out here for part of the holiday breaks while I was in college.
Yeah, that's where your family is.
So if I say I'm going to go travel and see my family, and then I'm in California and I'm planning to go to Cleveland, and I say, thinking about going to New York for New Year's Eve, who's down on social media, and you as a woman see it, would you flip out on me because you mad about why am I going to be there? And then I might explain, oh, well, my family lives in Cleveland and you know that, so I'm going to be out there. Well, why wouldn't you explain that this was a plan? It wasn't. I thought about it when I tweeted it.
It was just random.
Yeah.
I'm pretty, you know this about me. I'm pretty random. Sometimes it's just like, I feel like going to New York.
Is that a major event that I should have like told you about?
A lot of women feel the type of way for New Year's Eve. I don't know.
No, I was going to be in Cleveland for New Year's Eve. Regardless, I wasn't going to be anywhere where she could see me. She was in Seattle. So me going from Cleveland to fucking New York City.
Isn't that much of a leap.
What the fuck is the big deal? Why are you flipping out? And then she tried to call me every day and was mad because I was out and busy and like doing stuff, because we have a 3-hour time difference. So when you're just waking up and not doing anything, I'm actively hanging out with friends already.
Yeah, it's new.
I don't
see. That's neediness.
It
That's neediness.
No, but it was for her. It was control because the guy that she got with afterwards, she could control and tell him what to do, how to operate, and like then she would do weird shit like invite me over, and then they would argue in the bedroom because she told him about me.
Why did you go over there?
Because I was friends with all of the other women in the house too.
Oh, okay.
Like, I'm terrible.
I thought it was just y'all three. I'm like,
she inviting
that's
you
awkward.
over?
Yeah, that's
just
awkward
like,
as fuck.
No.
I'm over here to see.
I thought this nigga was just like, yeah, let's all three have dinner. Tony, why did you go?
No.
That's all.
That's weird.
That would be weird.
I mean, well, it's like it's one of those things. It's like,
through her,
you want to come over?
like,
It's just like, why did you invite me over and he's here?
A house full of like 6 women, and then 2 other women that didn't live in that house at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were all friends, and so I would go hang out with them. But then she would like know I was there, and then invite him over, and bring him over.
That's weird.
And I don't know. They would argue,
what are you
but he
trying to
would
do?
listen. He would listen, and like whatever she told him to do, he was with listening and doing it. You're not allowed to go nowhere. But that's how his mother was. His mother treated him like that. And so I can get where Ash talking about, where if you're used to that and that's where the woman feels like that has to be her role, it can cause an issue for the son.
I don't know. Maybe I guess that's a weird thing because it's like I've never been limited in where I'm allowed to go. There are very particular situations where I wasn't allowed to do stuff.
But who ran your household?
Both of my parents, I guess. I mean, when it comes to certain things, my father pretty much holds rank.
So
when it
okay,
comes
so
to,
no.
the general day-to-day stuff.
But when you have to say when it comes to certain things, his word is the final word. That means that he runs the household. No one wants to say it and articulate it that way because it makes women feel away.
Yeah, it makes like some women feel
weird,
weak. But why?
It's not.
Like, on general discipline, my mother was allowed to pretty much do what she needed to do with me. But if my father's yelling at me, I've really fucked up. I have fucked up.
But you already knew
bad.
that there was a level higher of discipline that you could get to. That was a clear distinction.
It's like, what did I do? It's just like, Charlie, you have lost your goddamn... Like, what did I do? You never yell at me. She yells at me all the time. She yells at me about not picking up my room. Anything that she yells at me about is like, this could be some random minutia that she's just upset about.
Yeah.
But if you're yelling at me, I've done something. I should probably think about what I did. But, I don't know. It's like... But a woman telling me where I can and can't, that's never going to happen.
But you didn't grow up with that.
I mean, my mother every single once in a while tells my father he shouldn't go out to work because he works too much and stuff like that.
I guess like where I was
once in a blue moon.
Where I was trying to go with it is that disagreeable. As like women are definitely more agreeable than men are. But when men are just a little bit too disagreeable for the standard that they've upheld, because I think our society is definitely based on like I said, it's definitely more liberal leaning, which is definitely more agreeable than conservatism. So we can say that, or I can say that when you see somebody that's not agreeing and has these strong boundaries, then something must be wrong with them. They must have a fucking problem because you're not conceding with what the fuck I was trained with. And like I said, I see that a lot with women in general. It's not really a race thing, but like I said, women are just more agreeable. Like he said, we'll definitely be cool with cheerleading you on with some ideas and shit like that. But when it comes to action, I wouldn't say that's our strongest suit. Because when I used to work for the call center, we had to do a training. It was nothing but bitches in there. And we had to learn how to do something specific. And the chick was a trainer. Nothing got done. It was just these bitches hemming and hawing about what was wrong and what could be fixed. And I don't like this and I don't like that. And I'm like, I came for a training. I don't understand. Well, and then I realized, looked at the office, and then I think the 2 owners sat on our floor. And then there was one dude that was call center, but that was like during the holiday time. And that's when it hit me solidified. Like, this is where a more masculine presence is needed. And for some reason, like I said, if women feel like they have to put on that role to be all of those fucking things, but really ask yourself, is that your strong suit? Like, not to say that you can't, boo, because you damn sure can. But is that where you strong is at? You know what I'm saying? Could a man pick up that part where he is more stronger than to kind of like get to the point? I get it. I can sit there and ruminate about how I feel all day. But men are just kind of better at being like, we're going to move all these little emotions out the way. We're going to get to the point. Emotions are very needed. But when it's time for action, y'all real good at just being like, detaching and saying, this is a goal and this is how we're going to get there.
I mean, I guess inside of a skill set, I guess that's some. I don't know what people really want in husbands, but that is something I'm capable of doing, and I'm not sure if that's like a wanted quality or not.
That depends on the woman you date. If she know herself well enough to say, I'm not strong in this area, and I'm looking for someone strong to be in that area, then that's on the woman for real. But that's depending on how well she know herself.
Because I'm very much as, like, because it's weird, because me and Tony kind of exist on different parts of the spectrum. Tony's a very much, I'm going to jump, I'm just going to go ahead and jump. Fuck it. Jump. Why aren't we jumping? I'm gonna jump. If you don't jump with me, I'm jumping. So, but Tony, our legs are tied together. Well, that's
shit,
really
nigga. That's your problem.
That's
be quick to say that's your problem.
It is. It do be your problem.
And then I'm sitting up here hanging on to the thing. It's just like, nigga, why won't you let go of the goddamn cliff? Tony, we're jumping into it. We're jumping into a giant chasm.
I guarantee we're going to go. I'm going to get you off of there.
So I'm just going to hang here. Eventually, you're going to let go. And it's like, I start pulling myself, nigga, what do you think you're doing?
I'm going to jump again.
It's just like, no, I'm just going to leave you down here dangling. You think I'm just going to dangle down here? I'm going to pull myself up, and then I'm going to pull you with me, and we're going to jump again. We're going to keep going through this.
We going to jump until you get tired enough that you can't hold on no more. We going on it.
It's just like, look at you.
We're going
making me need
over
to jump like 3
the
times.
cliff. Over the cliff.
So it's just like, I don't know. But I'm
you're very firm in like how you didn't want a pet. And you're not.
Oh, that was what I was going to bring up. Is like, there's no wiggle room inside of certain things. It is just like, I am willing to compromise on things that I also know that I may be being a bit too particular about. Like, I don't know. There's certain things that I'm just very particular about the way I want them done. Like, I don't know, video for the podcast. There's certain things that I just look at it and it's just like, no, this has to be done a very particular route.
Yeah.
And it's just like, if someone is willing to risk their own money and go out and spend this stuff, it's just like, go right ahead. That's your stuff, quintessentially. So, and we're using it, whatever. But as long as we're not using, like, as long as we're not, this is our plan as a team, then I'm gonna want to sign off on that. We're gonna do this once, hopefully, because that's my type of mentality. I hate redoing shit. I hate rebuying things. I just hate doing that. I bought one car, same car for a decade. I don't repurpose things. I buy what I want the first time. That's something I actually got from my father. And that's one of the things that my father pretty much is like runs shot on. No one in my family, not even my sister, has ever bought a car without my father giving the green light on the car, ever. Because it's literally like, should I buy this? No. Okay. And that's always the end of the conversation, because that's something.
But yeah, you see, leading.
It's just like
in action. You see how it works in a 2-parent household. Well, yeah, she can, in the general sense, because leading doesn't mean I have to micromanage you. Leading means that there are clear boundaries, and those boundaries can't be crossed.
Yeah. I mean, there's just certain things, boundaries. Like, maybe there are a little thing. I haven't found all of my boundaries, because you don't always find your boundary until you run into it. It's just like,
that's true.
That's not okay. No.
Nigga, did she put her finger in you?
Oh, whoa. How did we get here? How did we get to
Just like,
that's what it sounded like. No. I'm
you
vulnerable.
take that out. You take that out of me. Don't do that.
Give yourself a little, like, no.
That's not acceptable.
No.
No one wants that.
Be very, very careful.
No one wants. That's very bad behavior.
Be very, very careful.
That's so funny.
It's just like,
you see see the whole fucking room. These niggas tensed up like, oh God, Ashley.
Yeah, like,
Well, no,
What's with
just-
you?
how
No,
do we
that
get
Jesse
here?
looks at me like,
I
you
am-
gotta go.
Yeah,
I
like, how
am
do we
very
get here?
prone to reaction.
I'm gonna fight you.
It's just like, and there are people who don't realize how close
I'm
they
not
are
prone
to getting a bad reaction. Like, someone I was awake, and I was just kind of laying there and listening to my audiobook, and my mother came in, put my covers. I almost roundhouse kicked my mother in the face this morning. It's just like, what are you doing? It's just like, I was just pulling the covers up. I have a cover underneath here. Why? I almost
Very
kicked you in the
sacred
face.
part of your body.
So I don't know what's gonna happen if you just randomly put a finger up my butt. I'd probably break your arm.
Yo, stop.
See, no, for me,
Randomly.
I'm not
That's,
going to. It's not going to be a reaction because you're going to know that's not acceptable, and you have violated me and crossed the line into you want that ass whooped.
Oh my God.
Bet
it's just like, well, stop.
ass shall be
I
whooped.
really want to put the finger in the butt. What do you do? I'm calling 911.
No, I'm whooping said ass. Fuck that 911. Ass shall be whooped. You?
Do
What?
not
I
put
told
your
you no.
finger in
Why are you
me.
out of?
That is rape.
It's like you walk out.
God.
Walk
You
out of the
can't
room.
violate
Like,
me
why are you
and
coming
then
back
be
in here with
mad?
a wire hanger?
You can't violate me and then be mad at me. Like I don't understand. Like no, those two things don't go together. And you
So
better not call the
sorry.
cops.
I clearly caused a lot of trauma.
It's not trauma. I'm just letting you know. Like
I don't understand
You
why
can't
people
put
randomly
your
think
finger in
I
my
want-
butt.
You want a
I will
finger up
not.
your butt? It's just like,
See, that's why when you was like,
Did I
yeah,
ever
bitches
sign up?
like dude's ass, I'm like, fuck for it. I don't there's nothing back there I can do. I'm not trying to figure out what's asshole.
and I'm not even like hyper toxic. Like I
Or
hate
like
gay people
smack
do.
it and grab it. The
nah,
fuck?
It's
women
like,
be
no,
like all
I
on
just
that
don't want stuff up
wanting
my butt.
to peg niggas and all that weird shit.
It's like I would have. All right,
That's
go
so
find you a
fucking
dude. I can
funny.
never find a dude who wants to do it. Go date a gay
Exactly.
dude.
I said,
probably down
don't
with
come
it.
around here with that dumb shit.
They're probably down with it.
Oh my
Gay
God.
dudes, they take it up the butt all the time. I know.
I will roundhouse
Not I.
kick
It's
you.
just like, well, they won't let me. Well, I don't know. I mean, you could be unethical and lie and say you're trans or something.
What?
I mean,
Huh?
like there's an entire concept over gender, sex, and what are we attracted to. If you're attracted to gender, are people attracted to the given gender, or you're attracted to the given
What
sex?
my homie
There's a-
say in fucking Atlanta, nigga? That's a man. He's like, that's jail. You was on the outside fucking booty. That is my
So it's
shit.
like,
What the fuck? What did that
depending
say?
upon the people, you might run into some people who are attracted to the gender. So therefore, if you dress as if you are a guy, and then go into a gay club, you might be able to get that popping.
You fucking a man.
I just don't want pagan to be an option for you if you talk to me.
That's an
Because-
option. It gotta happen. She was like, yeah, I can't
Duh.
date that nigga.
In order for me to be sexually satisfied, sexually satisfying.
No, I don't care about it. I don't care what it is.
I
We're
wanna
not
question-
having a
Gonna wait.
conversation about it. I'm not about to debate with
You're
you.
not going nowhere.
No, we're not even
There's
exploring
nothing
this
else
for
to
real.
say.
I told you
It's
no.
like-
Yeah, this
Why?
shit make me laugh.
Hey, that's
so
like
fucking
me
much.
saying, "Hey, let me shit in your mouth.
To you,
You want to roll the
that
brown
might
out?
be.
Nope.
Let me shit in your mouth."
No.
Let's take a
And then you gotta- and
gigantic.
then
you
you gotta eat
immediately
it.
stand up, go over there. Hey, the door is always open in terms of you leaving. It's not open,
These
open for you to
niggas
come
will
back in, though.
defend
Yeah, you
that
gotta go.
part of their body.
That's not
No.
acceptable.
That's like a Saiyan's tail.
Oh my
Yeah, why are you
No.
touching that? Leave it alone. It doesn't belong to you.
Stop.
It needs to be kept safe, and it's precious,
That's-
It's like
and you're not treating it as such.
it's just like
How about
things only
that?
go out of
How
there.
about that?
Things only go out of there, especially mine.
yeah.
If you want up your butt, I guess we can have that conversation. But mine, no,
That's a
not in
very
this house.
specific thing. That's
Not
why
in your house, not in my house, not in any house really.
you got to be extra careful around that area. Like a nigga got to explicitly say what the fuck he want going on in that area for me to even try. Like, what do you want going on down here?
This is the
I'm
reason
with
why
the
dudes
freaky
just
shit,
gonna start
dude, but you
wearing
gotta
reverse
tell
garter
me.
belts.
Huh?
They gonna start wearing reverse garter belts to just cover the butt while they're having sex. It's just like dink.
Oh
Where's
my
that
god.
there?
No, I ain't never did that to no dude. That's terrible.
And then you just see him look down. You're untrustworthy.
Nah, unless somebody asked me to do it, I'm not I know that's a very precious part of your body. So I'm gonna go in every nigga I go in assuming that you don't want that area touched unless you specifically say what you want going down here in this area. That has to be talked about.
Else.
Has to be
Tongue
talked
and
about.
nothing else.
That got to be talked about. Because, nigga, I'm not trying to get hit. First of all, I don't want to penetrate a nigga like that. That's not my fucking role. I'm trying to be penetrated. That's weird.
It's like, I didn't sign up to do that level of work.
Yeah, like, being a submissive woman is great. I don't have to do much of anything for real. Like, niggas want to give some dick. I'm entirely okay with receiving. Because that...
I'm so mad.
That leading shit, oh my God, what? Like, turn around, like, oh my God, I gotta talk? Ugh, what? I gotta tell you what to do?
No,
I'm not. I'm definitely, like I said, I definitely love my submissive role in the bedroom. I lay on my back so fucking good. You want me to turn over? Bet.
Oh my God, that's so bad.
You can tell me all sorts of shit. Most likely I'll do it. But me telling somebody else what to do, oh, that's exhausting. Oh my God. Whoa.
It's just like, I didn't sign up for this.
Not at all. Well, I'm not here
of this.
I'm saying, what? Being a sub is great. I ain't got to say much of any. You just tell me what to do and I do it. That takes so much load off my shoulders. Whoa. I don't have to decide. Thank you, sir. You're the greatest.
As long as you don't.
Terrible.
As long as you don't Tom's wife somebody. It's just
man.
like, what you out here doing? I'm texting.
What?
Oh, have you never seen that episode of the Boondocks? Mm-mm. I think it's either the Tom's... Well, there's a bunch of things about Tom's wife.
That are inappropriate?
It's just like... Oh, my goodness. That was just all so sad. That woman... I don't know if that woman loves that man at all. It's terrible. You should watch all of the Boondocks, except for the last season, because Aaron Magruder was not a part of it.
I saw a meme today that said this nigga was trying to buy a PS5 for his wife's boyfriend.
What?
Yep, he was trying to buy a whole PS5 for his wife's boyfriend.
That's hilarious. Because I can only imagine.
That's the type of giver I need on my team. Fuck you talking about. He's generous.
Oh no, it's just like, why'd you give him the PlayStation 5? Somebody's will stay out of my house, Jennifer.
That shit. That's what? You just got $500 to blow on my boyfriend? You the best, boo. Give me a kiss.
Well, it'll all be funny.
That nigga getting pegged,
He's
sorry.
never that man is never gonna say anything. And then she's gonna be like, I think my boyfriend broke up with me. Oh, you had a boyfriend? That's fucked up, Jen. That's real fucked up. I can't believe
the fact that he just said flippantly my wife's boyfriend. Nigga, you could have kept all that to yourself.
It's just like,
that's just so unacceptable.
In a motherfucker, that's some cuckoldry going on over there. That's grade A cuckiness.
I'm buying a PlayStation.
Cuckold is literally just being cheated on.
In his face?
Well, no. You were considered in the old days, you were considered a cuckold if you just got cheated on, period.
Cuck.
And then, apparently during the slavery days, a lot of cuckolds they liked for slaves to have sex with their wives in front of them.
Cookie.
That's so weird. Life is a weird place.
What?
It's just
Life
like,
is super
just
weird.
such a weird place.
You want to see me get fucked by another man? Some niggas, oh my God.
It's like...
Never mind. I ain't gonna say that.
Kevin Gates is a cuck.
Who?
Kevin Gates.
You lying.
Nope.
Kevin Gates is a cuck. He liked to watch or he liked to participate because
Likes
his levels to
watch.
cucks, levels to cuckoldry.
He likes to watch his woman get satisfied by another man.
Cucky. Shout out to the cucks in the world. Send your cuck stories to
Yeah, he'll talk about sharing his woman with his niggas, and
He's
I'm just like, that's wild, sir.
That's cuckiness.
Yeah.
Damn, that's wild. Because my level, that's what I thought cuckoldry was different.
I don't know what would happen if I ever had a close
No, he
friend.
wants to be there and see.
I don't know what
Never
like,
mind.
I feel like that would inspire some type of fucking Dragon Ball Z fight inside of our friend group if someone actually fuck someone else's girlfriend.
Oh man, y'all funny. That's funny.
That's not funny at all.
I thought.
I'm gonna blast a hole inside of the fucking universe.
I don't see your wife.
No, it's cuckery because you're doing it in front of him.
Yeah, I mean, definitions of things change. I don't know.
No, that's part of it.
I'll leave that to KSU.
What if you fucking somebody else too? Is that still cucky? So if y'all just both got your own little partners.
So y'all just exchange women?
No, like you fucking a bitch and she fucking a man. Is that a foursome? What is that?
That's a train.
That's not cucky? No, you have your own personal female and she has her own personal male.
That's no, that don't make sense.
No, yes it do. I'm saying
that's going on. Me and my girl, I got a new chick and she got a new nigga.
That's just swinging.
That's swinging.
Okay.
That's weird.
I'm just trying to get the boundaries of what everybody's feeling over here.
In order to get your jollies and save your marriage.
Yeah, because that's less about because those other two people could have been a couple as well, and then they come and be like, all right, we're gonna swap for real, and then y'all have sex. So y'all are just like swinging couples. That's just like y'all want to fuck other people, but also be in a relationship and then make sure they're not doing nothing that's too inappropriate. Mm-hmm. Hey, I see you over there. I told you can't do that with them.
It's just like
you get your mouth off of there.
You gotta kiss our kids at night with that. Don't eat his ass.
Yeah.
I want to get pegged. No.
Yeah, you're
not allowed to. No, you're not coming home with any new ideas.
Yeah.
You'll be like, hey, honey, I want to try something. All right, put on this blindfold. Now roll
Ain't no blindfolds.
Wait no blindfolds.
Or rolling over.
Now
it's karate chops.
It's just like, I'm going to kick this shit out of you.
It's karate chops. I'm passing out karate chops like I'm from Step Brothers. And they do a karate at the fucking base at the garage. There's so much space in here for activities. You niggas are retarded. And I know that's not politically correct, but they were retarded. Oh, was there another subject or topic? Because I think we went off the rails of black women being the backbone.
Like, that's the second question. What's about? Do y'all think like black love is something that's sold to you? Is there a concept as black love? Like when you see the media and whatever, do you feel like is there something that's being sold? That's what I'm asking. Do you think it's like a media thing or it's being served to you? Or do you have an idea of what black love should be?
I think that's just a thing that black people... I think that's a thing that people who always... Because it's very popular to show single-parent households inside of black media in general, so... That's just them trying to fight against that, I guess, negative stereotype. I don't know if co-parenting is necessarily a negative thing, co-parenting, but I don't know. But co-parenting is not necessarily a thing that's heavily prevalent inside the African American community in general. Like, I can really count on so many hands, typically, how many kids I knew that actually saw their fathers on a somewhat consistent basis. If you want to go by blood. But, I mean, even technically, like, my family's technically 50-50 on that in terms of my sister. Because my father is pretty much adopted my sister, but she is not his, like, birth daughter. So... But for all intents and purposes, that is her father because he's more of a father to her than her actual father was. That nigga dead.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he was a piece of shit.
Okay, all right. That nigga dead. Just the way that nigga dead.
I don't really feel like any of her siblings can necessarily argue that.
I don't think no one can.
I don't have nothing to say. I don't. Okay.
I don't know. There's just people that I really, really...
It's just the way that it came out of nowhere, Charles.
That nigga dead. Well, no, there's just...
All right.
There's just things. It's just like... I didn't appreciate, like, my sister used to, like, sit in front of the phone and, like, wait for him to call, and he just never... It's like, I'm going to come pick you up, and just didn't. It's just like, it's weird. I'm a very forgiving person, but I'm also a very wrathful person. Like, so it's one of those things where it's just like everything's hunky-dory until it's not. And then for some reason, it's just like, what happened to that guy? I don't know. I don't know how he popped up inside the bottom of Lake Erie.
That's all right, Charles. We're going to get you some help.
I don't know. No, I mean, there's nothing that's not like there's not that many people who deserve that much of my ire. Once you do, ooh boy.
Yeah, so we're gonna get you some help.
I mean,
I think that Black Love.
Don't transition like that.
like, no.
Yeah, I'm done with that. I said what I said. Get you some help at Black Love. So this is Black Love that we're talking about.
I mean, is it considered? Can you only have black love when it's two black people together? Is it not black love when it's a black person?
Yeah, we're gonna keep it as like that Instagram-y ass shit you see.
Oh, that's just
like,
a hashtag.
Or like the black woman is the fucking earth or some weird shit, and then the black man is on a boat or something.
I hate social media love in general. Let's say that.
I can agree with that one.
I don't know. It's like I don't know how much everybody in here is a PDA type of person. That's the pinnacle of public displays of affection. It's just like, what are you doing? We got a photo op of us making out. Look at it. Look at it.
I'm super affectionate, but I'm not like if we out in public, I'll kiss you and shit and hold your hand and hug you and all that junk. But I don't like I'm not trying to perform for nobody, if that's what you mean. Like, that's weird as fuck. Like, I don't even, like, even when I was with people, I never could just, like, babe, take a picture with me, because I'm not a babe, take a picture with me. Like, even on my Instagram, I don't think I had that many pictures of me. It's enough, but I don't think I'm, like, uploading constantly and trying to get people to look at me, because that whole concept just weirds me out. I don't even, like, even when I went out of town to go take pictures of these waterfalls, my brother was like, damn, you ain't get no pictures? I'm like, I got two. Like, I don't really like the performative aspect of social media. I don't like whipping out my phone every 5 seconds, and I wouldn't do that if I was with somebody to be like, oh my god, this guy just got me chicken wings or whatever the fuck people talking about. Like, I just never even did that when I was with somebody. It's not for me personally.
I'm never buying you chicken wings unless we've had this conversation.
I just can't do it.
Why can't she have chicken wings?
We've had this conversation before last week.
You guys just want to waste them.
I don't want to waste them.
You want to eat every piece of it.
Every
piece.
last.
Just the meat.
What?
Oh my god. Oh my god. We're not doing this again. We're not doing this again.
And I digress.
Fucking talk about just the meat. No.
Just the fucking meat, right? Like, it's not a whole piece of bone before you get to the other bone. Fuck. It's a
you don't eat the meat in between the flats.
Because I'm done. Once I start feeling something that I cannot chew like regular meat.
That means you're just out here eating skin.
That's not how that works.
That's not how any of this works.
Get out of here. Anyway, what am I thinking about? But I don't know. Black love is just kind of this thing that people are trying to fight against negative.
I don't like media-sized black love or any of that. I don't like to be told what love should look like, because that discounts me being a person.
Yeah.
It's just like
I don't got no say in what my love look like.
I mean, if you're if you're loving a black person, it's automatically black love.
I would assume so.
Yeah, like, I can't speak on white love. Like, I can't speak on that. I don't know what the fuck love look like over there. Not to be like an asshole. I just don't. What is that? I don't know how they interact with each other. I don't know what they day to day look like. Is their mentality is the same as ours? We can kind of argue that it's a little different. Maybe there's definitely differences between us. So I can't say that their love is the same as how we love each other. So I'm not about to speak on what white folks be doing and they better. You know what I'm saying?
Odd, because I don't necessarily think I'm inherently hyper affectionate. It's like the way I exist is just kind of like I am not the I will constantly say I love you person. I will do things to obviously convey the fact that I really do care about you and love you. It's just like, what did you do? It's just like, oh well. It's just like, what'd you do? I wouldn't spend $150 on something from Sephora for you for something that you know good and goddamn well.
I ain't supposed to be in this bitch. What the fuck?
I don't. It's just like, what'd you like? How much did this less
fuck
thing
is this
cost?
shit? I don't fucking know. This bitch be talking about undertones.
That's the thing, and that's the other wild thing is the way I exist is if I care enough about you, I will. and you care about something, I will educate myself on it to make sure I buy you a good gift. But also, if you tell me what gift you want, the likelihood of you getting that dramatically decrease because that irks me. It's just like, hey, go get me this. That's not a gift then. That's just you telling me to spend money on you.
The only time I'm doing that is if it's music related. Don't be out here making decisions, but on my fucking music. If I say I want the whatever the fuck stereo system, I'm gonna need you to get that exact because I've made up my mind.
Girl, you about to get? It's like you wanted this Kanye. You want this Conway CD? Nah, you about to get this Fall Out Boy CD.
What's wrong with you? Clearly, you hard-headed. I'm not doing that. But no, if it's like, if I specifically,
no.
Let's say like somebody knows a specific. That's the only time I think I would do that. Other than that, you can surprise me, but don't surprise me. Like, I remember this dude got me one time. It was very thoughtful. He got me this record player, CD player, cassette player, radio combo. Right?
Wow. All right.
This is the problem.
Because I'm like, wow, why the fuck would I want this?
This is the problem with that. As much as Ash got vinyls and love a good record, the sound quality on that bad boy was terrible.
Oh yeah, because all these stuff.
Yeah, all this shit.
It's
and
just
I was like,
there's so much bang for your buck.
Oh my god!
How much did you spend on it? $100? This ain't shit, dog.
I had to pretend like, oh my goodness, this is the greatest thing I've ever received.
The bee's knees.
Oh
because
my god!
It essentially is like people kind of fundamentally don't understand how the way these things work. A lot of AV stuff doesn't even have circuit or audio stuff for analog doesn't even have circuit boards or anything in it. That creates interference.
Unless you know what good sound quality sound like, and we on that same level, so you know I'm not buying cheap shit to put on my. Even if it is cheaper, like say you could buy me a pair of Beats, I wouldn't be mad at you for that. But I already know like Sennheiser and Audio-Technica is the things that I fuck with. I know how to buy some pretty decently priced headphones that don't cost an arm and a leg, but I also will not listen to some headphones if I don't like the sound quality on their bad boy. I will throw it away. I'm not picky about how my music is played.
I mean,
super picky. So dude, I'm super picky in that area. I would not be satisfied. You're gonna be mad that you bought me something like that.
I mean,
and nigga gonna be looking at me like, what my headphones doing on the floor? I can't listen to this. I'm sorry, it sounds muffled. It's something wrong.
Jeff.
Yeah,
they're fucking trash.
That's the only
that's
part.
Not black love.
I don't give a fuck
this
what
is
that
black
is.
Love. This is black truth. This is black thought.
I don't know what the fuck that is. You need me to rap at you about
this?
Pretty please, future husband, if you out there listening, do not make that fucked up. Unless you see me with something. If I say specifically I want something with music, don't deviate from that. Unless you are in music industry your damn self. Don't buy me no fucked up shit because I'm gonna be upset.
Fucked up. It's like you went out here, you spent how much did you spend on this?
They're like, how much did you spend on this? And it sound like this. You need to return it. I'm gonna say it nicely. I'm not gonna say it brashly as this. I'm gonna say it in a very nice.
You're gonna take it back. It's like, oh, it broke.
Gonna say
Will
it
you let
super
me pick
nice.
What I want to?
I'm gonna say it super nice. Unless you about
like,
to.
Oh, you don't want the same thing? I mean, if we're just gonna get the credit, I might as well pick.
Bro, don't do that. Like that just aggravated me to my soul.
Why did you get?
Why are you out here?
I got you the Beats.
Why are you out here?
I got you the Beats. I got you the Beats audio system. How much does this cost? It doesn't matter. That sounds like $1,200. Well, yeah. Boy, you could have got me like.
We're not doing that.
Send it back.
That's
I'm gonna
universe.
Save you like $500.
If you're listening, that's my only fucking request. Don't let a nigga be caught slipping, because this feeling's gonna be hurt, and I'm gonna be upset that you really decided to do this without my consent. That's really super. Like that's the only time. The other time a nigga could just surprise me. Great. If you was paying attention, you think I might like something, go ahead, but don't fuck up that part.
Well,
I'm gonna catch your attitude.
I've heard conversations about someone being yelled at because they didn't buy the right ring. I've necklaces, Pandora the charm bracelets, them not getting the right charms because they didn't have any. I've heard all types of kind of wild things and kind of not wild things, because it's like there was maybe we were talking about this on a podcast or something, but like just that conversation is just like I don't know what I would do if someone told me to take their gift back because of that wasn't something that was like size related. It's just like, I bought you a pair of Jordans. Oh, they're too big. I wear like, because Jordans are oftentimes like a half size bigger than they actually are. So it's just like, oh, I'm like, let's go smaller. All right, I'll take those back.
Yeah.
Not like, yo, boy.
What the fuck is this ugly shit?
It's just like,
I can't be mean like that.
you
I'm not about
didn't
to be
get
mean.
me the chocolate diamond bracelet.
That's
the chocolate
terrible.
Diamonds are dumb, and they're literally just cloudy diamonds that they told you it was worth something. And also, I don't really like buying diamonds. That means I bought you like sapphires, which are more expensive than diamonds. What's your problem? Did you educate yourself about what you told me to buy, or did you just tell me to buy something because Zales told you to buy it?
She know what she want, and what you doing is not what she want.
All right, bet. You don't get
Black
anything.
love. Where's the black love? Where's y'all black love? Y'all not listening.
No, I'm listening. I don't know what the fuck love this is, but that's the one request. Don't go outside that box, nigga. And like I said, unless you in the music industry and you know what good sound quality sound like, that's the only time I'm gonna trust your opinion. If you one of them niggas that bought a $5 fucking earbuds from Walmart just because you just want something in your ear, get out of my face. Oh my God.
Well, that's
I
kind of
can't
understanding
stand
what
that.
the purpose of things are. If you're buying $5 headphones, you're not expecting.
But them niggas
crazy sound
continuously do
quality.
that. They lose their headphones all the time and don't give a fuck what head going on your ear. You ain't gonna care about what's going on my ears.
Well, all right.
This
What I'll
is
say
very
about those
serious.
motherfuckers is,
Man,
if
she
you
said, "You're not gonna
constantly
care
use
what's going on
headphones, you
with my
probably should
ear."
not buy the $300 to $150, $75 pair of headphones.
See, yeah, them niggas don't know I'm real bougie with the music, boo. Don't fuck with that part. That's something that is a very boundary crossing thing. I don't give a fuck what love that is. You got to get the fuck out of here with that shit. That is very important to me. How I listen to my music is super important to me. For you to just be out here disrespecting my motherfucking eardrums is a sign that you don't really fuck with me. You just gonna give me anything? You couldn't even go for the default to buy me Beats? Like, Beats is cool, a default gift. Like, I know you like these, boo. And they cost a lot. And they sound pretty decent for whatever the fuck. You went out of your way to just buy me anything old willy-nilly because it was in your fucking budget? This must stop.
My problem always stands in when you spend a certain amount of money and you could have gotten me something way better, but you just bought the thing that was the better, that you thought had the better name.
I don't
Because
want that.
people don't know what Kirsch Sennheiser is for the most part.
They sure don't. And I'm okay with you buying me some Beats because that's where the fuck your knowledge is on that. It's high quality to you, and that's where that's going. Cool, because they don't sound bad. Great. Give
Because,
them
like,
here.
honestly, the pair of headphones that you're wearing now cost less than my, like, Skull Candy Crushers, but these have, like, way better sound in them.
See,
But
like,
the
if somebody bought me some Skull Candies, I would know, like, oh, you own this something here because Skull Candy sounds pretty good for the price.
I mean, it's pretty good bang for the buck.
Yeah, it's pretty good. See, you know, you speaking my language. You know what the fuck I'm talking about.
I mean,
so if
I'm
you
an
buy me some
audiophile.
headphones, I'll be okay with that because you already know. Now, I've already been in the precipice that Ash don't fuck around with her sound quality.
It's just like, it's like, come over here. It's like, are you going to stab me or are you going to give me a hug?
Oh my God. Like, my mother got Hose speakers. This is solely going off the path. My mother had Hose speakers built for her, custom built. So it's not like Ash is just out here just, no, this is my blood, dude. I can't go off this path for black love. I refuse.
It's just,
You got to.
We've gone to the things that we won't sacrifice for black love.
That's
Like,
terrible.
me is not
I'm not
having a
sacrificing
pet.
that. Get the fuck out of my
Like-
face.
I had a question.
What?
So, if you don't date anybody but you love yourself, and
Question about to be funny as
and
shit.
you feel self-fulfilled, is that black love?
Hell yeah.
That's self-love. What the fuck is self-care?
The self-love, but no, you black, so is that black love?
It's black love all day, nigga.
I was just quoting.
I had
open
black
mic.
love by myself. I don't need you bitches.
I was just quoting an open mic's Eagle song.
Yeah, that song was so fucking funny.
His
But
whole
yeah,
album was quiet, sad.
I liked his production on there a lot. But
He was sad, and then
He
he
was
tried,
sad
as
and,
fuck.
and
Yeah,
then he
he
tried
was
to make
sad.
me listen to his kid,
How'd you
and that
feel
was not
about
happening.
how'd you feel about the snorkeling song? Did you think it was cute or did you turn it off?
I think I tuned out after like.
Because Tony turned it off. I was in the liquor store when it came on. So I was just like, what the fuck is this? But I don't know.
Nah,
I
that
mean,
wasn't like the greatest album ever made by Open Mic.
Nah.
But I enjoyed the production.
He was going through a lot.
Yeah, he was. The fact that he named his album Death, Trauma, and Anime, it was like, oh, divorce.
Well, no, it was Anime, Trauma, and Divorce.
Yeah, there you go. I'm like, damn, nigga, what?
Anime, I was happy, trauma. Divorce. He made an entire song about the thing that triggered his divorce was a fucking Black Mirror episode.
Man.
They were just sitting there watching Black Mirror, and then she started feeling the type of way, and the next thing you know, you're divorced. I'm like, well, I would hate Black Mirror too. Fuck that shit.
This is so off topic. But anyway, I thought Black Love was like, I have to do it because we have no other people. But we already off the rails, so fuck it.
I mean, I think we've been over this. I bang who I want.
Yeah.
In general, like, I don't think I've dated someone from every single race or anything wild like that, because I don't necessarily even think that's, or the popular demographics, but I can generally say I have been attracted to a person from every single race.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not that white dudes ain't attractive. It's just that they never swayed me to be like,
I mean,
let's be together.
If you gave me a shot at Scarlett Johansson, I'll probably take that shot. Would I marry Scarlett Johansson? I don't know. Probably not. I mean, she seems pretty chill.
Oh, that's the criteria.
I mean, my criteria for marrying someone and dating someone is like it's stringent in a lot of places, but it's also stringent in not a lot of other places. Like, so one of the primary qualifications is you just can't annoy me. Like, Tony showed me this video of, I guess, this couple when they do pranks on each other, and this girl was just following old boy around, and
that's way too much. I hate them fucking videos.
That irked the piss out of me. He's up there, I'm about to film this thing. It's just like, baby, why won't you pay attention to me?
Yeah, like, they be doing some fucked up shit, like, I'm gonna put a mousetrap on her clit. Like, nigga, if you don't get the fuck out of my face, and it's an everyday thing, like, I need a break, bitch. What the fuck is you talking about?
I don't even understand how you get a mouth clap on someone's
It don't
clit.
Yeah, but I feel like it's that extreme.
It's
and
like
I'm not doing that.
You're down there going to town, and it's just like, wait for it.
Yeah, and then he laughed like he died. He on the floor laughing. Like, your bitch's clit is fucked up. You on the floor laughing. There's no fucking way. Like, we can't do this 24/7.
That clitoris was very erect. You just put a mousetrap on it. I feel like that's assault.
And the red clitoris is a funny term to Ashley say. She's having a diet fit.
It's just
as
like,
soon as you call it the red.
See, that means you had to take time to get it.
Exactly. You were just like, you were just getting in there. She getting into it. You all the way there. And you're just like, you start teasing her, start kissing on her thighs, and then next thing you know, clap.
That's so terrible.
And then next thing you know, when she gives you a blowjob, you're going to get a mousetrap on your balls.
I fucking quit.
What is that for? What was that for?
Oh my God.
What was that for? What did I do to you? You know what you did.
Not doing
now
that.
you have a ruptured testes.
Is wild. I don't mind pranks, but them niggas, I don't know if how the fuck they keep doing that shit over and over again.
No, it was just as she was following him around all over the place.
Oh.
I was already kind of disenchanted with the person just because she took. It's like these masks are a hell of a thing.
That is the polite way to say that, Charles. Good job.
It's not like she wasn't attractive. It's just like this mask are a hell of a thing. It's like my imagination is almost always better than what ever really actually happens. It's just like, ooh, oh man, I bet you look great. And the next thing you know, take the mask off. God damn it.
You see why I said that you got to be nice, Charles?
I am nice. She's attractive. It's just she was not what I thought she would be.
Okay.
It's just like I have a thing I kind of do
this
like
nigga said false advertising.
It wasn't even false advertisement. I filled in the space myself, and then it wasn't what I thought it would be. So I was upset.
Go.
But
that's
ultimately,
so
it's
funny.
my problem. Because it's like, damn, she does not look like the way I thought she would look.
Niggas, though. Bitches out here thinking that looks don't matter. Looks matter to a nigga. They lose out of attraction for your ass. They out.
As long as you're not out here looking like a fucking chupacabra, I'll probably be alright.
See what the fuck I'm saying? Why can't you just fall in love with a chupacabra? God damn it.
I mean, I have very succinct things. I have particular things that I want, and then other things I'm fine on. Like, skin tone is not really an issue for me. Mm-hmm. Even though I've had women say, like, oh, you only like light-skinned people. It was like, no, not particularly. I mean...
Y'all want to chip in and help me get this?
No.
Not at all.
Okay.
You'll be in my thoughts and prayers, though, about it.
Okay.
Look at you. You look down like...
I better be... He better be in your meditations, too.
I'll manifest you some shit real quick, boo. I imagine you shooting it around, putting it at your backpack, having a good old time with your gun. Do you want me to do that? Worth way more than actual money. Look, this nigga got the biggest fuck you in your face.
What's wrong with getting nunchucks? Nunchucks are great, Tony. You can defend yourself with them.
If you're gonna give me a melee weapon, I would rather a sword, a tanto, some daggers, a katana, a spear.
We're all legally not allowed to carry those things around because, you know, they don't want the type of people who carry swords, guns, or swords, spears, and things like that. They don't want those people walking around with those. But they're fine with people walking around with guns.
Yeah.
That's the most asinine thing I've ever heard somebody say to me in my life.
Not at all.
I guess I have to, because I guess if I'm going to kill you with a sword, that means I have real conviction.
Hell fucking yeah, you gotta whip out a sword?
It's just like, what are you about to do? Why are you running at me like you're a ninja? I'm about to kill you. You're not going to do, dude, I'm running at you with a sword. I'm going to kill you.
Yeah. Sir, I need to slice you in half. You made me draw my sword.
Just walking around with a sword causes panic.
General panic.
Just, you know, it's a little worrisome. You don't know if I have a gun on me or not.
Yeah, you don't, but you see that big fucking sword.
People open carry all the fucking time, Tony.
In certain states. In those states, you can also have a sword.
No, because you're allowed to open carry here, right?
No.
You're not?
No.
Damn.
I'm pretty sure my dad would carry his fucking shit all the time.
You can carry in Texas. A lot of the southern places, yes. Here, no.
I mean,
you can conceal carry, and so the reason that they don't let you carry a big fucking sword, because that's scary.
I mean, the funny thing is you know what I'll do? I want to open carry as like a javelin, and I want to get it. I want to see people in a gunfight, and I just want to throw a javelin through somebody.
My nigga, what? You gotta really exert some energy for that.
Charles, can you find me a blacksmith that can make the iron blade off of...
Assassin's Creed?
Yeah. And then can I just walk around like that? If you give me that, I won't get any more guns.
Actually, the weird thing about the arm blade from Assassin's Creed, I'm pretty sure it's legal. Because it's only but so long. Like, the length of the blade is always the thing that gets you on a knife.
Yeah, it's not a knife, just a blade launcher.
It's not a blade launcher. It only sticks up to about right here. It's a mechanical contraption, about as long as your neck. You hit it with a palm thrust, and it's there. It's like, I mean, I'm pretty sure people looking at you are like, why do you have gauntlets on? No reason. Like, don't worry about it.
No, I needed to also have a secondary function that it can jettison the blade if I needed to.
See, you can just learn how to throw a knife.
Nah, I want to shoot my blade at you.
No, I never, like, if you throw a knife or you shoot a knife, you got to be absolutely sure it's going to hit wherever it hits.
I would love a bow gun.
What's that?
If you could auto-feed it bolts.
I mean, see,
that's a crossbow.
It's a I mean, you can get a repeating crossbow. They exist.
Well, then, yeah, can I walk around with that in public and just shoot people with that? Are you more acceptable with that than a gun?
Really?
I mean, your general range difference is going to be different. So, and I also feel like those amount of shots per minute that you're going to get off with a crossbow, and that is fine. Also, there's also a general level of skill with a crossbow. So, yes.
Why do you feel like there's no level of skill with a gun?
There's less of a level of skill.
How? It's a small thing that I got to put on a target. That doesn't mean that there's less skill to do it. It just means that more dummies can do it. That's like to say that there's no skill to driving.
We make things for the common man, Tony.
Like driving.
And gun ownership.
So until you're ready to change driving, I'm ready to change.
What do you mean? I'm completely and totally for taking people's licenses away if they start doing stupid stuff.
Yoink.
Well, once y'all start,
and also we have it unilateral.
And once y'all start doing something like that's not a constitution, then you can talk to me about my constitutional rights. Until then,
inside of the Constitution says
I want this.
It says gun limitations are fine in the Constitution. Get the fuck out of here. It's like
I want this, and it doesn't say that. Where'd y'all put that? Y'all added that.
What?
Y'all added that.
No.
Yeah,
added what?
Gun limitations.
It was there from the beginning.
It's not like I don't understand what your problem is. It's not like we want full auto weapons.
It's more, I mean, I think we've had this conversation off air already. You already said, like, who needs the limitations? It's just if they get the limitations, everybody has to get the limitations.
No. All I know is I'm going to buy a suppressor.
I don't even understand how. Well, because suppressors aren't silencers, and suppressors are legal, but silencers are not legal. Even though there's no such real.
It's an NFA item. You have to pay a $200 tax. Buying gun control isn't about stopping guns. It's just about making it more expensive.
I mean, at some point, if you are. I mean, how often do you have to update your gun registration?
You don't. You just pay that one time.
See, and now it's time to start paying for tags like cars.
No, that's ridiculous. What are you talking about?
It's time to start hitting y'all up yearly for every gun.
I lost that bitch. Yeah, you might get
this. Oh, you lost it?
Yep.
It's just like it's like that's when you institute that strike policy for gun loss. It's just like I lost it. All right, one strike. What do you mean one strike? You get 3 strikes, no more guns.
That's not true. You can't do that because if my car gets stolen? My gun was stolen.
Your gun was stolen. Well,
yep.
The likelihood of your car being fine is found way higher. Or else, like, you also don't have professional gun thieves.
You do.
It's like
they just rob gun stores and sell lots of guns. So they're professional.
Like they're not robbing the individual things, and also it's you lost your gun.
No, but
not your gun was stolen.
Well, then I'll just say it's stolen.
It's like, did you report it to the police?
Yep. I'm gonna start making police reports.
Like, all right, you make it to.
A year later, I'll be making a police report. My gun was stolen.
This is like, man, it's just. At some point, they're just going to establish a trend like, wait a second, why are all of your guns getting stolen? What are you doing with these things?
Nope. Then I'm going to start giving them. It's not going to just be me. Just know that all of them are going to be reported stolen. Other people are going to be like, I'm like, yeah, I let them borrow it to go hunting, and then it got stolen.
Oh. Who?
My buddy Jim. And he's going to be here saying that it got stolen, too.
It got stolen from me.
Buddy Jim.
It's like, I've let him borrow it. How do you know Jim just didn't return it? We're going to go into Jim's house. It's just like...
That's not acceptable.
Yeah, it is. You said Jim had your gun, and he's the person who lost your gun. So
no, I say he got it stolen.
He owes you money.
That doesn't change. That's fine. He paid me.
He paid you already?
Yep. We're fine.
Where's the receipt?
There's no receipt. Why would I need a receipt from my friend giving me money for a gun?
That's a gun
about
sale.
to logic each other out.
It's not. The gun is stolen. Nope.
He lost your gun, so that means he bought your gun from you.
Nope.
So that means
that's not what happened.
That's inside of your possession. That's a part of your gun limit, Bill.
Nope. Y'all are just mad. Y'all are just upset that I'm going to get around this.
So you're not anti-gun.
I'm not firmly anti-gun. No, I'm fine with people having guns. I'm just pro-gun legislation and people having to be responsible for the shit that they have.
And why are you against that?
None of the legislation makes any sense. It's not logical.
It's like
it's highly
because a lot of people say I lost my gun going fishing. It's just like, all right, we got some legislation for that because y'all motherfuckers are just trying to
So my thing is the legislation that that him creating that legislation that says you lose your gun law stops legal citizens from owning exotic guns like they want to. What it doesn't do is prevent criminals from committing criminal activity, which is what you guys are championing as the issue and why gun laws need to be created. So what the law is doing and what it's intended to do aren't the same thing. So then it's a broken fucking law.
I mean,
it inherently doesn't function the way. No. It doesn't function the way that you want it to.
But that's the thing. If we do it and things don't change, then it can be changed.
That's like what they said that they were going to start taxing Americans only during the Great Depression and that they were going to stop because there was supposed to be no federal tax, and then they're like, yeah, we're going to change it back. And you know what they decided not to do? Change the shit back.
Because the infrastructure worked better after the Great Depression. But
very often than not, when people make a decision, do they repeal that law?
I mean, that's just a matter of people holding the government accountable for things.
Or you could hold them accountable now and just say, no, you can't do that because that don't make no sense. How about you come to me with something logical?
I'm okay with you with something logical.
No, but that doesn't go towards criminals.
I mean, if
I bought my gun legally, and you know about it, that's the only reason that you can tax me. But that also means that I'm a law-abiding fucking citizen.
Yeah.
The criminals are not getting their guns the same way we are.
I am always gonna say if you stop people from producing certain types of guns, like there has been gun bans, and they have been effective.
So no, then what you don't. So gun banning isn't what you want to do. Then what you need to do is target the manufacturers and not the citizens. So you can say, hey, you guys are no longer allowed to produce these for civilian consumption. That's how you can stop it, and then target an actual something that's going to affect. But that doesn't mean that I have to give up the ones that I own. Because then now you're putting something back on the law-abiding citizen. So you can target the manufacturers and say, yeah, y'all can't make any more of this.
I mean, we've already done these things and they've been effective. And
they still make them. Except for...
No one makes the Thompson submachine gun anymore. Nobody makes a lot of those things.
Well, there's actually been legislation to stop y'all from just suing. And reason...
And protecting them because they believe that even though these corporations are quote unquote people, we can't sue them because they're technically protected from erroneous lawsuits. But what erroneous lawsuits are you doing? And then they're allowed to throw slap suits at other people just because they're allowed to throw slap suits at people. So that means it's not a unilateral system. Like they can't get sued, but they can still sue other people. So these things don't make sense to me.
But that has nothing to do with me as a regular person, and so you should take that up with the... and so that's what I think it is. I feel like the government is unwilling to challenge the gun industry. And so if y'all want to make them stop making guns, then go. Fight that fight. But creating laws to make me, the law-abiding citizen, unable to purchase what's available on the market is wild.
I just don't necessarily... My overall fight on what's actually necessary for personal protection I think is different. Because fundamentally, like...
I don't know. I think it's also weird that we don't argue about what's necessary when it comes to the First Amendment.
Freedom of speech.
Yeah, yes, freedom of speech is generally just freedom of speech.
We do argue about it all the time.
We argue that it shouldn't be limited.
Yeah, we argue that it should be limited, but what is limiting? Like
no, we say that...
conversation with social media currently is that people say their speech is limited on social media, but we've also put in place legislation that says social media companies aren't liable for what other people post on there. But then we're also trying to repeal that stuff because we're saying, well, they should be held responsible for how they limit other people's speech. But are they limiting people's speech? It's conversations that we do have a lot.
No, but what I'm saying is the conversation isn't ever, oh, we don't need this much freedom of speech. It's always, is it being limited? How do we unlimit it? How do we make this objectively even for everybody? And that's generally how we look at all of the other amendments. It's only the Second Amendment do we be like, well, is that necessary?
Because talking about someone doesn't kill them.
That's not true. Hitler talked millions of people into killing millions of other people. The fuck are you talking about? Conversation gets people killed every day.
That was a wild amount of nationalism and a lot of stoking of a lot of things. But saying...
charismatic Confederates convince other bipartisan people that, hey, we got to fight this war against the North. And then there was a civil war.
For the most part, all the white people outside of the South were pretty much down with fighting the North, or else they would have
lost all their infrastructure. Yes.
Yeah, because they lost all their infrastructure, and they convinced them.
But I'm saying that conversation is just as deadly as a fucking bullet, and even more so at times.
I mean, yes, historically, but even inside of those, I mean, if you look at it, it's out of those wars. But what did they fight those wars with?
True, but why did they fight those fucking wars?
Why did they fight them?
Because someone spoke. All of our black leaders got killed because they fucking spoke.
Yeah, because they were.
Martin Luther King was non-violent, not toting a gun, none of that. But he was doing a whole lot of fucking talking.
Yeah, that was effective.
And that was a lot more dangerous than if this nigga was just walking around in his hood with a fucking gun.
So that means we can get things done without guns.
But it doesn't mean that we should limit them, because then we should limit what people can say, because speech is a lot more dangerous. It gets a lot more people killed a lot of the time.
I mean,
speech is the whole reason why people were fucking mad at Trump, because he incited all the races, and then everybody was up in a fucking tizzy because of this nigga's words. Not because this nigga went around killing people, but because this nigga was saying shit.
Well, people were also irritated about the Trump thing is because Trump's Twitter account is protected because it's technically presidential documentation, and presidential documentation cannot be deleted.
But no, everybody was upset because this nigga is saying stuff, regardless of why it's still up. What you're mad about is this nigga's words, and what they're he's inciting the Proud Boys or whatever demographic you want to call the alt-right. But what he was doing is speaking, so clearly that's a lot more detrimental than a fucking gun. If you had the whole fucking country on eggshells, day-to-day life goes on when niggas when they have AKs. Niggas are more upset.
Well, no.
It's more graphically disturbing.
See, that's the thing. You're saying I don't him saying that stuff doesn't necessarily always change the day-to-day I walk. Knowing guns exist changed the way that I actually walk on a day-to-day basis. The way I look at things, the way I change things, the way I view things, the way that actually affects my day-to-day life.
But you could also say the way that he said things has changed the way. Trump saying that COVID was a hoax changed the way millions and billions of people live their lives day to day.
Yes, it did.
Those are words.
But one can be vetted. You can't vet someone shooting someone.
George Bush said that there was weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. There were none. But he mobilized people with words.
But we vetted. But that's the thing.
But once the words were spoken, regardless of us vetting, were we still over there? Are we still over there? Yes. So yeah, sure, we vet these things, but the words still have.
Said they weren't more than likely weren't over there.
Okay, but we okay. So regardless of the vetting, so what you're proving my point. Yeah, we did all the vetting, but what happened is those words were spoken, and that's what caused a ramification of change. Trump said that the election was stolen from him, and there's millions of people that are like, oh no, the election was stolen, and refuse to believe any other outcome or reason why. But it's based off of conversation. Trump isn't going around threatening people with a fucking gun. People are the issue.
He has people running around.
I guess my thing is people are the issue, and conversation gets a lot more people killed. But we're not running around like we got to limit freedom of speech.
Guns are a common.
Guns scare people.
Guns are a common tool of destruction, and you can't really.
So is conversation.
Yes.
People have used conversation to commit mass murder.
But the thing is,
people have used conversation to cover up mass murder. When have you used a gun to cover up mass murder?
You can actually look at something and use common. You can look at Trump's statement and use common sense to out-rationalize it. I can't out-rationalize getting shot. If you can't say a level of education in general can stop someone from shooting me.
Did a level of education stop the Holocaust from happening? Because everybody that participated in that wasn't a fucking dummy.
I would say a level of apathy by other people.
Apathy has nothing to do with education, though.
I mean, I would say a level of, how do I put it? No. I would say almost everyone who, like, World War II was and that entire situation was it was a clusterfuck based on like legislation between other parties and people not wanting to go to war because of that. There was a lot more.
But how did
saying that people not stopping the Holocaust is like, yes, objectively we should probably just went over there and stopped the Holocaust.
No, not saying that. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is Hitler's conversation to his country is what incited the Holocaust. It wasn't Hitler going around and threatening people and being like, hey, you better agree with me. It was Hitler.
I would also say a general level of education could have stopped the Holocaust, yes. Because I do believe if people legitimately understood, like, objectionally with education, we could say the Jews aren't a problem as of this point. And those people didn't know that. So, yes, ignorance, for the most part, caused the Holocaust.
I guess I don't look at everybody that agreed or went along with Hitler as ignorant.
It took us, yes, the upper echelon people probably weren't, but it took at a general level, the foot soldiers and the next level of that. They're the lower the actual grunt level. I would say in general, those people were probably pretty ignorant of the overall.
Well, okay, so let's say you did get the common man. Shit, the common American doesn't know shit about economics or politics and a vast majority of that shit, and they're only mobilized every 4 years. So conversation can get them to do a lot. Like Trump, like Bush, shit, like Obama. Obama and his change speed mobilized a whole generation of black millennials and black youth that had no give a fuck about voting, but they had all the rappers shucking and jiving. We had fucking Jeezy, my president is black, all of that to mobilize us. All just conversation.
Yes, I'm not saying speech isn't powerful.
But so what I'm saying is it's a lot more powerful than weapons usually happen to be.
But I can't yell at a bullet and stop it from shooting me. It's like, even on a personal, for me.
But you can shoot at the other person that's shooting at you to stop them from shooting you. So if I have a weapon as well, then I can defend myself. Just like if you're able to articulate your point, then you can defend yourself.
But that's the thing. With guns, they require, I have to change the amount of awareness that I have on a day-to-day basis in order to prevent myself from being shot. I shouldn't have to warp the way I move about the world, because it's like I'm looking at it like, man, well, what if that guy has a gun? I have to. It's just like the dude being able to walk out to a car and come back with a gun. Because
so what you're saying is you don't want to have the same situational awareness that women have to live with every day of their life.
I don't think women should have to live with that level of situation.
What they have to and what they do are completely different statements.
But that's the thing. But what
you're saying is negating the reality. Reality is people are going to try and rob people. People are going to commit crimes.
You can rob me with a knife.
But most people that are criminals are going to rob you with a fucking gun. And so if you're a law-abiding citizen that has followed all the rules and they said no more guns, that doesn't mean that the criminal is not going to rob you with the same fucking gun that he had before.
I mean, but when I look at this and I look at the amount of crimes that are committed and the amount of crimes that are committed to people who are crime, people are affected by crime, yes, but it is a smaller percentage of people than I do believe that once we stop circulating guns to the level that we're circulating them, and we're because it's weird, because we're really the only people with this problem.
But gun circulation goes back to you targeting the manufacturers and not targeting me.
But we are the only people with this problem.
But then target the manufacturers. So if your issue is with businesses conducting this type of business in your country, then those are the people that you need to target, not the populace. If you're going to allow them to create the weapon, sell the weapon, then you shouldn't then chastise me for being the consumer that buys the weapon that you've allowed to be created, marketed, and sold in your country.
I'm fine with people buying weapons as long as there is an actual need for the weapon.
No, but that belies the point. If you allow them to create AR pistols for consumer use, if you allow them to create all of these things, and then what you do is back in and say, no, you who have already bought it have to give them up, and then you who or pay a new tax or something like that, instead of charging the company that you're allowing to profit off of this seems like your only goal realistically is to make money and not realistically to mitigate
I'm
guns.
for the stopping of the manufacturer and the removal of them from the street. We can do both.
I am fine with stopping of the manufacturer if that's what people want to give it into, but the removing of them off the street is a wild proposition because what that entails seems more like martial law.
I mean, a lot of people have this aggressive of a gun policy and they haven't resorted to martial law.
Biden, I mean, there's generally because there's not a full control of the House and the Senate when the ones that are super aggressive get into office.
I mean,
like most of what Obama tried to do was repealed by legislation, but he did try to get into like some real aggressive gun control. But
I mean, that's the thing is, even if you have a full control of House and Senate, the judiciary, if they believe that it's like overly aggressive, the Second Amendment will still defend you. I mean, it still functions.
yeah, and so I don't think that.
I don't think anybody.
But so
I
what
just
you're
think the
talking
common
about
man
is retroactively making what I purchased legally illegal and then taking it from me.
I'll give you your money back.
No, you won't.
I'm fine with giving the money back.
That's not true. What you're not going to give me is the money that I spent on ammo to use this. You're not going to give me the money that I pay for modification. What you're going to do as a government is look at the blue book value of it and give me what you consider, and then you're going to depreciate it for what model, what year it is. So no, you're not going to give me the value of it. You're going to force me to sell something at a loss and say that you bought it from me so you can feel morally correct about it.
See, that's the thing, and I understand what the government will want to do, and ideally the way that this goes down is you look how much does this cost now? All right, list out all the things that you purchased for it. Well, I still have all this ammunition. Well, we're the federal government. We can use ammunition. We'll buy that. We'll buy all the things that you have related to this gun, and you will get your money back, and then you can keep it pushing.
But that's not what they're going to do.
I mean, we control the government, so we can make them do what we want.
True, but most people who believe in gun control don't give a fuck about any of the things I just talked about. And so they're also not willing to have this type of conversation where we can have a discord. As soon as I say, oh, guns are cool, they generally don't want to have a conversation with you.
I mean, that's the thing. The funny thing is, I'm willing to shoot guns, and I've shot more guns than the average person has. That's kind of the reason why I am where I am with guns, because it's like, Jesus Christ, these things are fucking destructive.
And like I said, but most of the things that you saw are also fully automatic weapons.
I shot. Well, I guess I've technically said an AR-15 because I shot an M16. I actually shot a rocket launcher. That was cool.
Yeah, so but everything that you saw in general has been in the premise of being with people that are in the military, right?
Yes.
So
I've shot
all
some
of the things are
the most destructive things. On
But
the
that's
face of the earth.
what they're for. They're for. But that's not what I have in my house. I don't have something that can fire off 100 rounds in under 30 seconds. That's not what I can do.
I mean, but see, the thing is, in general, for most of the weapons that you currently own, I'm fine with. Like, I'm not, like, I mean, I'm kind of weird on, like, shotguns that shoot slugs because I'm not sure why they're 100% necessary, but, like, you might be able to compromise on that. But for the most part, you own pistols and, a shotgun. It's not like the wildest thing in the world. Like, none of the things that you own I'm necessarily against existing. I'm not really against that existing.
Yeah, the things that I have coming in the mail are probably more things that you're probably against.
Is like
Like,
yeah, it's just like the things that you kind of mailed out for is just like, what are these for? They're for shooting people.
so like, yeah, I have a rifle that shoots 9mm caliber. It's like 20 inches normally, but it folds to be 16 inches. But it's a rifle.
It's like,
And then I bought an AR pistol.
it's like understand, but I also think understanding is a fundamental thing that we need. Like, I don't like the way Congress conducts itself because they don't actually, for like a lot of things. One, I do believe for the most part, lawyers should write a lot of the laws. Even if congressmen, we should just have people who their job is. You write these bills, regardless of what party actually runs it, regardless of who does what. All right, that's your fucking job. You're nonpartisan. Fuck it. All right, what else do? We need experts. Because my primary, within my field, I deal with people like when they call Google to the Senate because people don't like what's popping up on Google when they're Googled. It's just like, well, what's Google? When they Google me, I see, I cheated on my wife last time. I don't want to see that on Google. Did you do it? Yes. Well, that's what's gonna show up, dude. Sorry, not sorry. But it's like, I don't want that to be there. That you don't get to control that? It's like, I think in a lot of these situations, you actually need legitimate experts who sit there and say, all right, what are you actually trying to do with this? And what are you trying to say that's okay? And we need some universal definitions for these things, because the problem with guns is a lot of these things aren't fucking defined. There's no clear definition. And legally, I think that's a thing that we actually need. And then once we have like a clear and understandable vernacular that we can use, then we can legitimately start limiting. It's just like, well, what aren't we okay with? Well, the general ability to stabilize it increases a lot of the accuracy and things of that nature. So it means like we're generally just not okay with like stabilization. Like, all right, well, we can get rid of that part of it. And
so y'all don't like stabilization. Boo.
But it's just like, all right, well, but at least when you talk about it, you have an actual point of reference that really have a conversation about it. Because I see a lot of the problems with guns is the same problems that we have with like search engines and Facebook and Twitter and all this stuff. We have people who functionally don't really quite understand what they're saying inside of a place where they have a lot of power to make decisions. And I think we need more experts inside a position to actually advise them. Because my biggest problem with a lot of laws that people make is that they don't have experts inside their given field. Actually, they don't have a rapport with those people. So when we create gun control, it's just like, all right, politicians shouldn't be sitting there saying like, all right, this is the problem. Like, well, what don't you actually like? And you need to sit down and have a conversation about, well, what don't you actually like? And what does this do? And like, maybe we should, it's just like, man, so maybe we should just lower the overall caliber around that we allow people to actually have on the streets. Maybe that's the most effective thing, because like if we stop selling ammunition for these damn things in general, it doesn't matter if they have guns that can shoot high caliber rounds, because they can't get ammunition for them. Maybe that's an effective route of going about it. It's just like, oh, well, if we limit the ammunition, then they can keep the fucking guns. But it's not that big a deal. I mean, there aren't that many criminals on the street that can make their own ammunition. I know it's a possibility, but that's not a general skill that a lot of people can do.
It's not hard.
I know it's not hard, but a lot of people won't do things because they're too difficult. And also at that point,
yeah, but a lot of them niggas didn't know how to make fucking liquor before they prohibited it, and then a lot of some niggas know how to make liquor.
Well, no, making
and what
liquor,
they're going to be,
I mean, people knew how to make liquor.
And no, but what I'm saying is they're going to be people that make bullets that are selling bullets illegally.
Yeah, but at that point, that makes a point of contact that's easier to fight against. Because in order to manufacture bullets fast enough for it to actually be profitable, you need a large enough facility to do it. And when you have that large enough facility, that is actually that's a point of which that you can actually attack.
Honestly, just getting smuggled. You get them from another country.
Yeah, that does create a thing that can smuggle, but no one really manufactures these things the way we do.
Israel.
All right,
Germany.
You gonna smuggle something all the way over here from Israel or Germany? Have fun with that one.
They smuggle people.
I mean, they smuggle people, but
I'm
looking at that as like, if you're smuggling something from Israel or Germany, at that point, it's going to be so fucking cost prohibitive to the point where it's not even going to be fucking funny.
I mean, I'm smuggling death now. And it's not going to be cost prohibitive. It's just going to be beneficial. Now I'm smuggling death to people.
I mean, yeah, you at that point, there is still a point of contact at which we have ability to control it. Because, like, yeah, you can smuggle it, but
But no, what about me? I need bullets too. I want to go shooting at the range every weekend and shoot 500 rounds every weekend.
I mean, you have fun with that, but you're gonna pay for these smuggled rounds, and
no, I want to go and buy them legally. Why can't I just legally go to the range and shoot 500 rounds every weekend? But if that's my
you can go legally shoot.
Not if you
500 rounds of the stuff that's actually legal for you to buy. You just said 500 rounds. You didn't say 500 rounds of a certain caliber a bullet. You just want to shoot 500 rounds. What's the difference?
So if I want to shoot my AR-15, I'm not allowed to go shoot that.
What if we can make an AR-15 that shoots a smaller caliber. Why can't we?
Yeah, I don't want that.
Why don't we?
So rifles that shoot pistol calibers sometimes do more damage. So that's why, like, my carbine that's going to shoot the 9mm, like, that's going to pack quite a bit of a punch.
I mean, with that, we can evolve the laws and do things to the point where because what happens is you actually end up with a round that actually it's faster because of the way the rifle is set up, correct? So if we set limitations on the way that rifle is allowed to function, then it's just like, all right, well, what can we do? Well, that means we got to kind of limit barrel length, and we have to limit more things, and we just set limiters on the way those guns are allowed to be manufactured. And at that point, you just kind of, I guess we're kind of creating hurdles at this point, but laws are kind of more so hurdles than anything else. Like, yeah, you can get over them if you put enough effort into it, but at what point is the effort no longer worth it?
Never, if I'm gonna make some money. But I don't know how we got into this gun control topic, and it's almost 3 hours into the show.
Oh.
And Ash is giving up on life.
Remember when you did this nigga?
Hey, you shut up.
Who are you talking about?
Me?
Why were you sitting over? Why were you being a burrito?
That was a classic episode right there. I think
Tony
Alicia had bought Hennessy.
Really, really drunk.
And this nigga put a blanket over his head and he checked out. He had to go excuse himself for a couple minutes and came back and put that blanket over his head and continued the show.
I did. Hey, but I did that show like a motherfucking
He
champ.
sure did. That blanket helped get that nigga together.
I had the blanket and I was leaning to the side, but I finished
His
that
eyes was
whole
half
show.
closed the whole time. It was something to
but
see.
I was here doing the show
He
full
damn sure got
energy,
through
giving
it.
it up. I was like,
that
fuck
was
it.
one of those days we had the extra long pause.
Yeah, man. That was life. But yeah, this has been Conscious Reconstruction. I am AKA God out here, the AKA God. Just giving you all the AKAs that you could ever have. No affiliation with the sorority. We got Zero Cool, AKA Ash in the building. We got Just Charles, AKA The Most Host, AKA 009.
I'm kind of undermining my entire thing. Every single AKA alias I come up with, I'm undermining being Just Charles.
Yeah.
Because I'm supposed to be Just Charles.
Yeah. Yep. Just Charles out here.
Mixed marketing.
JC, if you're nasty. All right, women.
I am the opposite of nasty. I don't like hitting fingers.
Out of women. Get at him. He said y'all could have a great time with some fingers.
No.
And some persuasion.
I don't trust that.
Yep.